To Citywide Field here in this Forest City. My name is Ron Forward. I'm joined by Dylan Sherville. Welcome to Beefeater Football. OFC Semi-Final action happening here today between your London Beefeaters and the Quinte Skyhawks. Dylan, first time meeting of the year for these two teams in London. When they first played, London went up there, kind of ran roughshod over them a little bit, did a really good job, came in with a tough road win. What are some of the expectations today?
Well, it's just like you said, playoff football, always ground and pound. You're going to want to run the ball early and often, feed the big horses that the Beefeaters have in L.J. Dyer, and continue to establish between the lines of scrimmage here.
I really expect to see a lot. Quinte's kind of built their year on that quick game, that, a lot of underneath, a lot of mesh concepts, a lot of really late crossers. They like to run that pick. So the Quinte's going to try to get the ball out of their hands quick. Beefeaters, big key has got to be coming downfield and making those tackles. That's going to be a big one. For Quinte, I think it's going to be a lot of, they got to stop that counter. That's what London basically did to them a couple weeks ago, is they ran counter on them, and they ran it really, really well. If Quinte doesn't come out and stop counter in this game, talking to Coach Schneider, I don't think that they're going to do anything else but run counter.
That's right. Counter, power, ISO, all the good stuff that we've seen from the London Beefeaters. Even that, slice, add-in action with the slot back, adding into the box and creating additional gap. Incredibly talented is the Beefeaters running game, and that's going to be the goal. On the other side for Quinte, that quick game works. That quick game is going to be what tries to get them apart and get them away from that strong defensive line, including OFC All-Star Noah Williams from London.
Yeah, Noah Williams amongst 7 London Beefeaters who were OFC All-Stars, 2 for the Quinte Skyhawks. As we see captains at midfield, expecting, weather is perfect here today. It is mid-October, and it is 19 degrees and clear skies here in the Forest City. The leaves are starting to change the colors. As you really see the Quinte Skyhawks in their black uniforms, lime green trim, Beefeaters all white, silver buckets, red and blue trim. Really exciting game. The winner of this game most likely is going to go down the road to play the St. Clair Saints next weekend. St. Clair and Ottawa is playing tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock. So that'll be a big game there.
And you couldn't ask for a better day of playoff football, right? Like, as you mentioned, barely any breeze here, 19 degrees. Very good for both teams to be able to play some fall playoff football.
So we're just going to get ready for the opening kick here. I missed who won the toss. I think Quinte is going to get the ball, as we're going to have the rendition of O Canada sung by club owner Jen Annan. Great song to get you fired up on a Saturday afternoon here, early evening here in the Forest City at Citywide Park. Again, the Quinte Skyhawks in black. We're just going to do a quick comparison of the quarterbacks here to give you an idea. the main ball carriers. Camerota for Quinte has a 51 passer completion percentage, 251 yards rushing. That's a big key for them.
Absolutely. And Aiden Camerota, really one of these big dual threats that we have in the conference, not only as a passer, but as a rusher as well. Might not show necessarily from the touchdown perspective, but from the completion and being able to extend the play and be able to get the ball out to one of his receivers, Eddie Van Dyke, a huge threat for Quinte.
Yeah, and again, of course, for the Beefeaters, it's been Fairbairn. It's listed down here that Brady Miller is going to be the starter today, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out for the Beefeaters. We do see OFC All-Star starting to kick this off here. That's number 14 for the Beefeaters. That is Braden Rivard. So Rivard lining up, and we are under action. Foot the ball, drops down about the 25-yard line, and it's fumbled. Fell on at the 26. We're going to call it 26, 27-yard line. First down for the Skyhawks. Everything's got to be defensively. We got to keep everything in front for the Beefeaters here. Come downhill and make tackles.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that you're coming downhill, making plays on these quick passing routes that Quinte is going to run. Make sure that you're getting the secondary involved. Make sure the secondary is communicating with who's going where to ensure that, you don't end up getting beat deep on one of these plays.
So the Beefeaters have really brought pressure from the inside out. Their defensive tackles, Devin Fry, and of course Noah Williams. It all kind of starts with those guys. After this play, we'll get the starting defense for the Beefeaters up. Quinte lines up in the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the boundary. 3 to the field. 1 running back. Inside handoff to number 1. Short gain on the play, maybe 4 yards. Brought down by number 99, I believe it was. It was Devin Fry with the tackle.
That's Adam Victory.
And those are the kind of plays that you want to be able to establish in playoff football, right? You're getting 4 or 5 yards of shot on the ground. It's really interesting to see Quinte go to that early rather than that quick passing game that they're known for.
And we're going to bring up the starting defense for the London Beefeaters right now. Well, after this play. 2nd and 6 for the Skyhawks. 1 receiver to the boundary, 3 to the field, 4 to the field. Pressure coming, quick pass. Pass is dropped by number 22 by the Skyhawks. Falls incomplete, bringing up a 3rd down. So the Beefeaters got a quick little 2 and out here as we see the starting defense. Robbie Brown's getting the start there again. This is where really the meat of the Beefeaters is. It's in that secondary. Liam Klein, Hayden Scott, Trent Ingram. I think those are 3 names that we're going to say a lot today.
Absolutely, but don't count short Semi Tawa, right? He's an incredible half, and one that we do also say they didn't play a lot because if they do run to the field, he's one of the first run defenders that are there.
Seghetti's back to receive this kick for the Beefeaters, joined by number 11 for London as well. Snap is back, the kick is away. Good high kick, number 12 tracks back and gets it, takes it over to the field side, cuts it back up in the middle, flag on the play. Good downfield tackle by number 19 for the Skyhawks, but there is a flag on the play. Jaeger Horse with the return.
Yeah, it looked like there's a little bit of extracurriculars going on with the field side blocking here. Pretty great kick coverage, actually, from the Quinte Skyhawks. Really turned a bad situation into a good one for them. Obviously with the penalty, it really does help them out in field position games. So drive just happens, and now we're just going to pick ourselves back up and see how we can defend the Beefeaters offense.
10-yard penalty against the Beefeaters. And producer Stephanie, if we can get the starting offense for your London Beefeaters.
Name of the game with the Beefeaters, obviously run the ball, and then when you think you're going to think about it, run the ball some more. LJ Dyer, London product, OFC All-Star, someone who's going to be running behind that massive Beefs offensive line.
3 to the field, 1 to the boundary, 1 running back in the backfield as well. Motion to 2x2. Inside handoff to LJ Dyer, straight ahead. Tackle by number 9 for the Skyhawks.
Dyer on the carry, brought down by Colby Dowdle.
So here's your offensive line: Nemeth, Hunt, Ricard, Devereaux, and Fatati. OFC
and 4.
All-Stars on the right-hand side of the offensive line.
Also, again, London product as the right tackle there through the Junior Mustangs program, came up, now a Beefeater, committing to that excellence and continuing his play.
2nd down and 4 for the Beefeaters. Fairbairn keeps this himself, takes it over the left-hand side. Good gain on the play.
Fairbairn
It's going to be short of the first down of
Perfect.
yards to gain.
picks
I think
up
we're gonna
2,
be
bringing up
Going
3rd
to have
down.
about a 3rd down and about 1, maybe 2 here.
Yeah, great pull by Fairbairn there to try and get something out of nothing. Quinte did send pressure on the backside of that play, so good to see what they can at least get. Yeah, looking like about a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 here, so quick, easy decision is to punt it.
Yeah, Rivard is back to punt. Braden Rivard, the OFC punter of the year. Low snap picked up. Good high kick. It's going to be fielded about the 45-yard line by Quinte. Straight ahead. Good return straight ahead. Special teams. It's going to be a huge factor in this game.
Superman with the
Quinte's in
return.
plus territory.
Beefeater territory.
They're going to scrimmage the
First
ball
down for
at about the
Skyhawks
42-yard line.
at the 30.
And that's a great return, unbelievable
7-yard
return
line.
for the Quinte there. Being able to make something, off of that return. Always, as you say, Coach, it's always best to catch the ball in the air. Catching the ball in the air is about a 15-yard difference. So great for Quinte to be able to do that. Let's see how they reestablish themselves on offense after some, let's call them miscues on their last drive.
So the ball's placed at the 37-yard line. First down for Quinte. 3 receivers to the field, 2 to the boundary, 1 running back in, motion across, jet sweep action, handoff to number 22. Track down, number 21, number 98, amongst the first to get there. Great
On the
job
jet
by the
sweep.
Beefeaters. Number
Brought down
21
by
really
Flotilla
tracked that
Beefeaters.
right away and does a good job of
Flotilla,
cleaning
yeah.
that up.
Robbie Brown, as you mentioned already, their coach, making a play, as well as Alex Illich, the defensive lineman there, getting the stop. So, again, try to get those 4 to 5 yards on a run. They're only able to get 1 or 2. Bees put themselves in a really good spot here.
2nd down and 9 for the Quinte Skyhawks. 3 by 2, 3 to the field, 2 to the boundary. Back to pass, scrambling, takes up and runs for it. He's got the first down, slides down. Camaretto, first
Camaretto.
down for the Quinte Skyhawks. That's our first down of the afternoon.
Inside the 25.
And as we saw there, the halfback actually
First down,
being able to
Skyhawks
delay the
with 22
pass rush of Noah Williams, right? That's something that we need to do, or that they need to do, and then to end up finding some more success on the running game with Aiden Camarota, right? Give him a little bit of time, let him survey the defense. If nothing's there, take off and go get the first down.
So the Skyhawks break the huddle. Camarota, number 5 for Quinte. 3 to the field, 2 to the boundary, motion across. Pulls the ball, pressure coming from the outside, pushes that ball outside. High pass is caught by number 8 for the Quinte Skyhawks. Good job of going up and getting that.
Camerota's
And there's
pass
kind of
is
that
complete
late clear out.
to number
So
8,
hard to do.
McAllister.
Caught by McAllister. It's 1st and goal for the
They've got
Skyhawks
inside
at about the
the 10,
9-yard
first
line.
and goal.
As well as that was a great catch. That was an unbelievable throw for Camarota to set his feet, get the ball out, especially to the field. That's one of the hardest throws you can make in football is a field side sideline route. Really impressive to see how he's been able to command the ball today.
3 to the field, 2 to the boundary. Camarota in the pistol formation. Inside handoff to number 21. Cuts it back over the left-hand side. Touchdown, Skyhawks! And Quinte is on the board first today. Good drive by the Skyhawks on that.
And as we talked about before the game, right, running the ball is what is going to allow you to have success in the playoffs. And what did we see? Running from not just the running backs, from the quarterbacks as well. When you don't know who's going to have the ball at the end of the day, it definitely confuses a lot of the defensive players. So great job for number 21 to end up seeing that cutback lane there on that zone run. And ultimately, he was able to find the end zone.
So good job by the Skyhawks getting the first score of the day. Number 11 is in for the extra point here. Snap is down, the kick is away, and it is good. 9 minutes, 54 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Quinte jumps out to an early 7-0 lead.
And when you look at the sideline over there for Quinte, they're amped up. They're ready to go. They're excited. They're all fired up, ready to go. They're coming in here knowing it's a hostile environment for them. Playoff implications are obviously here. We're in playoff football here. You lose, you go home. You win, you stay moving forward. So to come out with that much excitement, it's how are you going to be able to translate that? Are you going to be able to keep that up for an entire game? Are you going to be able to keep that up going into the second, third, fourth quarter as this game goes on?
Well, exactly. And, it's one of the other things, this is a young team. So Quinte has a lot of first and second year players on the roster and are starting and playing significant roles. The Beefeaters are a much more veteran-laden team. So that's going to be a factor as into this. The enthusiasm of the game, keep that going forward. So we see the Skyhawks lining up to kick this away.
How about I get
Too deep.
the game? That's what we do.
Kick is away. Caught downfield by number 84, I believe it is. Takes it straight up the middle. Flag on the play, I believe. No, it's not a flag. My apology.
Might just be one of those fall leaves that we're talking about already.
Yeah, return to about the 27-yard line.
First down, Beefeaters.
28-yard line, first down for the Beefs. And let's see what Fairbairn and the Beefeaters can get going after a quick 2-and-out for them last time.
Right, quick 2-and-out. You give up a score. How does your offense respond? How do you look to score, and how do you look to put a drive together on the field here? That's the questions that we're going to be looking to get answered from the Beefeaters.
Fairbairn, handoff to LJ Dyer, straight ahead. Quinte really jamming that box up. Gain of about 4 on the play for the London South graduate. First down, second down for the Beefeaters.
And if you look at the way that Quinte are playing against the running game here, they're coming with a lot of force, a lot of leverage. It'll be interesting to see how the Beefs offensive line try to combat that, because they've really relied on a lot of their size to end up dictating how well they run the ball. Not necessarily all the force that they're bringing off the line of scrimmage. So it'll be interesting to see how they go up against a little bit of a faster defensive unit here.
So 2-by-2 set, fullback in there. Fairbairn pulls it, completes it out on the far side. Pass complete to number 5, Rosiola, the halfback in there. Gain of about 12 on that. First down for the Beefeaters.
Luca Rosiello, one of the players that we also see coming in, adding into the box as one of those slot receivers. So, obviously bring that action in, leak him out of the backfield when he does that, and it's a really quick completion, be able to move the sticks.
Beefeaters 2-by-2, fullback in the backfield as well. Handoff to LJ Dyer. Takes it off the right-hand side. Fumbles the ball. I think Quinte got it back there. I'm not sure. White ball is being called. Beefeaters got it back. LJ Dyer got the first down. Got caught up with his blocker there. It's going to be actually, I thought it was, it is a first down. I thought it was really close. So first down for the Beefeaters. And a little bit of a dodge bullet on that one as well.
That could have went from bad to worse there for the Beefs there if they fumble the ball. Now they have a little bit of momentum moving forward. Obviously establishing the running game, having that classic power look, always great to see.
Dyer straight ahead, just a power play inside. Looks to be a gain about 4. I'm going to call your attention to something as we're bringing this replay up here. Look at all the defensive players inside that 5-yard window. You got man across the board, and they've got 8 men in the box. That's going to be tough sledding for the game for the Beefeaters later on today.
Absolutely, and that's when motion really comes into play, right? Getting players confused, getting the defensive unit, forcing them to communicate, right? The more you force the defense to communicate rather than just sit in their principles and sit in their rules, that's
even their corners are really starting to come down. This is number 28 for the Beefeaters.
Elijah Prosper running the ball there.
Prosper, spelled out LJ Dyer on that. Needed 5, got about 7 on it. Beefeaters move the sticks. First down, Beefeaters. But even on that one, you see how the corners were really coming down. They literally, at the snap, have 10 guys within that 5-yard window. Talking to Coach Schneider, something's coming, but you just don't know when it's coming. Handoff to Prosper over the left-hand side, tripped up in the backfield. And that's what happens when you bring all those guys in. If you shoot the gap on defense, you can make a tackle. Brought him down for a short gain of about 2. second down as we see Jesse King checking in for the Beefeaters. They're just churning out those running backs.
Absolutely. Now they're bringing in more of a lighter package onto the field here, a little bit more receivers. Hopefully, let's get a little bit of an expanded look from the offense, get some defenders out of the box for the Beefeaters.
So after the gain of 1, second down and 9 for the Beefeaters at the 37-yard line. Handoff to Jesse King over the right-hand side. Gain of a couple. Gets it to about the 34-yard line.
Out to the 20.
Correction, about the 32-yard line.
27-yard line.
Beefeaters are going to have a third down and 4 here. 5:40 left to go. Offense is staying out on a third down and 3.
Absolutely, and when you're able to get 4 yards a pop on the ground, this is going to be one of those plays where, you fake it to the running back here. They have Jesse King in the backfield, so maybe a little play-action pass. Someone leaks out of the backfield.
Fairbairn pulls it himself, throws it out there. It is caught by number 12, Jagerhorst, with a big reception. The senior last year was an All-Canadian. This year he's had a little bit of a down year with the emergence of some of the other weapons, but a gain of about 12 on the play. First down, Beefeaters. Good drive, good answer for the Beefs.
Absolutely, and like we had talked about, right, that's where you get the play action involved on this third down where, you have been running the ball really effectively, get them to bite in on the run, and Mr. Reliable, Jagerhorst, it was wide open for Fairbairn to hit.
King remains in the running back position, fullback and tight end in the game. One receiver on each side of the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Jesse King. Quinte really comes down hard. You got a face mask happening there against the Skyhawks. I saw that from here, at least it's what it should be. 15-yard face mask. The Beefeaters are going to have this first and goal here.
Absolutely, and in playoff football, right? Football is a precise sport, so you can't be making some of these small, minor mistakes, right? Have some better technique, bend your knees, get into a better fit-up position for a better tackle.
He's such a small, compact running back, though. They've got some big, tall athletes along the Quinte line, but the problem is Jesse King is all of about 5'6", 5'7". He's a bowling ball. He's a pure bowling ball, but you got to bend a whole way down there to get lower than that, young man.
And it looks like the ball spotted on the 1 yard line here. I think we know what's coming, Some extra meat on the field for the Beefs here, pardon the pun. And we're going to make, I'm assuming, going to be some form of quarterback sneak or some sort of dive play here.
Brady Miller, the big quarterback, in for the Beefeaters now. Under center, takes it himself. Flags on the play. He does cross, but flags on the play.
Brady Miller.
Pretty sure the Skyhawks lined up offside. It is offside for Quinte. Touchdown, Beefeaters. And barring the extra point, 4:38 left to go in the first quarter. Beefeaters tie it up.
And when you have a quarterback who's 6'5", 235 pounds like Miller is, that's an easy call, right? Very, very simple. Quarterback sneak. Hang the ball over the goal line. Make sure that you get it across. You got to use all the weapons that you can get, right? Especially in the OFC, there's a lot of talented players. So going, seeing who the backups are, getting your third, fourth running back, even second quarterback in the game running the ball. It's just going to be able to establish a better running game for the Beefs.
Rivard's extra point is good. 4:38 left to go, first quarter, and we've got a touchdown on the board for each of these teams. Good answer to the both of them having that quick 2 and out.
Absolutely. These offenses have now found a way to move the ball effectively against each other. So it's now up to the defenses. How are you going to respond? What personnel are you going to have in the game? What keys are you going to start to look at? Now's the chess match kind of begins. Each team has their opening, has been successful in their opening. Now we're going to see who's got the battle-tested plan.
So again, we thank you very much for joining us here on Beefeaters TV. This is going to be a rebroadcast on Rogers Cable TV as well. Very excited about that. Dylan, you're a local celebrity.
Hey, appreciate it. Always good to get football on the TV, especially local football. Showcase a lot of our athletes and show that, football is thriving in London.
Absolutely. Rivard with the kick. Drives it down. That's going to be picked up about the 20-yard line by number 1 for the Skyhawks. Slow plays it straight ahead. Makes the first man miss, second man miss. Tackled there by number 24. That's a great return. Takes it beyond the 40 to about the 42-yard line. First down, Skyhawks.
And Jesse King, right, as you mentioned before, very stout and diminutive, but makes big plays. So it's good to see when you can get your running backs even involved on the special teams. But way better kickoff return that we saw from Quinte there. Number 1, Jake Venditti with the return. Phenomenal spin move, right? So good to be able to at least get better field position than when you had on your last drive.
3x2, 3 to the field, 2 to the boundary, 1 running back in. Ball is snapped. Picked up by Quinte, throwing downfield. Pass goes incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
This is going to be interesting.
Flags all over.
I think it's defensive offside for sure. As soon as the defensive lineman breaks the plane as a center, you're taught, snap the ball. Get it rid of so the flag goes.
When he moved, the defense has a chance to get back. Offensive player moved, and then the ball is snapped.
Okay.
So is this an offsetting type of penalty here?
Maybe, but I think we're also pretty lucky that there wasn't an extra flag thrown on the secondary there.
So
there's a little bit of extracurriculars going on before the ball was thrown.
We do have a offside against the Beefeaters. That penalty declined. Roughing the passer called against the Beefeaters. 15-yard penalty accepted. First down for the Skyhawks.
All right, so a little bit different from what we had thought was going on. We obviously get the roughing the passer. Definitely not a penalty that you want to commit. Something where, again, playoff football, you have to be more precise, have to be more calculated. You have to make better choices.
So the Beefeaters, again, Quinte's driving the ball in there. Ball's at the 48-yard line for them. 1 receiver to the boundary. 4 to the field. 3 to the field. H-back also in there. Inside handoff to number 22. Takes over the right-hand side. Flag in the backfield. This is coming back on a holding call.
Yeah, you'd have to assume that this is an offensive holding penalty, especially with how fierce the London defensive line is able to get off the ball. Pretty clear here. That
it's number 56 has got the holding call on the against the Skyhawks, and that was dropped back against number 98, I believe it was, for the Beefeaters, the defensive end that was coming across there.
Yeah, Scott Cancom, the offensive lineman for Quinte there. One of the more smaller offensive linemen that they do have, maybe small in height, but definitely not small in stature. Definitely, pretty wide, so I'm someone who's able to take up a lot of space. May struggle with some of the speed that the defensive linemen from the Beefeaters have, but we'll see. What that remains to be seen.
So first down and 20 for the Skyhawks. 2 to the field, 3 to the boundary. 3 to the field, 2 to the boundary. Motion across. This time he fakes the jet sweep. Quarterback calls it over himself. Camarotto, good job getting about 8 or 9 of those yards back. Calls his own number over the left-hand side. Takes it to about the 50-yard line of the Beefeaters. And he got 12 of the back. Second down and 8.
And just like we talked about pregame, right, he's one of those dual threats that we do have in the OFC. One of the leading rushers for this Quinte team, as well as obviously the leading passer. But an established and a mixed ground game coming from Quinte here.
2x2 with a H-back offset to the left. 1 running back in. Camarota back to pass. Good completion to number 19 for the Skyhawks. That's their big, tall receiver there, Dylan.
Yeah, Isaiah Lockwood, right? And it looked like that route was actually supposed to push into a post, but he found the zone or found the area where there wasn't exactly a defender watching him. Just turn a little quick pivot, sit, get the ball, get the first down.
They do a lot of option routes where, they have the option of pushing it deep, like on a true smash, or settling down into the zone. So they do a lot of option stuff on the pass. As the lights are on here at Citywide, 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. Handoff, met in the backfield right away. Big number 99 for your London Beefeaters. That's Devin Frey. Not today.
And when you have a strong defensive line like that, it's going to be tough to run the ball consistently. Devin Frey making a huge difference for the Beefeaters all season as a defensive lineman. And when you got someone who's 6'3", 290 pounds, probably pushing around 300 at this point, they're going to be hard to move and hard to stop.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we talked about at the start of the game, where the Beefeaters really built their strength of their line from the inside out. You know, they're missing today one of their defensive stalwarts, who was the rookie of the year. I believe it's number 74 for the Beefeaters.
Because they're a great can. Great
Can't remember the number, and I do apologize. Defensive rookie of the year for the OFC, as well as we see a great shot of the crowd here down at Citywide Park. Again, cameraman Adam doing a great job down there. Cameraman Lawson with the big going way up top in the skyjack there. Quinte, 2nd down and 12. 3 to the field, 1 to the boundary. Taking a shot downfield, pushing that downfield. Intercepted by the Beefeaters. Number 39. High pause it. Liam Clyde. We talked about him at the start of the game. Really high pointed that ball.
And when we look at how they had to throw that ball, Camerota couldn't get everything he wanted to into that ball. He had to short arm it. He had to hide from the pass rush that the Beefeaters had. Took a big hit on that. So, unfortunately, going to end up leading to...
Saying it was incomplete.
It's incomplete? Okay. Hey.
I really thought he got that.
It looked close. So, 50-50 call. It is what it is. Just an incredible athletic play.
He did. Okay. Yeah, he lost it coming out of the ground.
We don't exactly get that angle, so we appreciate all the staff here with all the camera work getting us the angles that we can't see.
So, long field goal attempt, 36-yard field goal attempt from the left hash. Left-footed kicker as well. Seghetti is back there if this is short. Kick is wide to the left. Seghetti does take that out of the end zone, and he's got a head of steam, pushed out of bounds about the 15-yard line. Seghetti gets that out, and no points after a promising drive there for the Skyhawks. 1st down for London.
Absolutely. Tegan Good, the kicker for Quinte there, obviously pushed it a little bit wide right. You'd like to see a little bit more defenders coming down the field just in case there is a miss on a long field goal. Get a few more athletes out there trying to at least get the single. But unfortunately not able to happen. But let's look at it. We've had a lot of action so far in the first quarter, and it's still a 7-7 game.
7-7 game here. 6:21 p.m. local time. 17 degrees at Citywide Park. The lights are on. Thank you for joining us here on our live stream between the London Beefeaters and the Quinte Skyhawks. Beefeaters in the pistol formation. Inside handoff to LJ Dyer. Takes it over to the right-hand side. Drops his shoulders. Keeps his legs driving. Gain of 15. First down, Beefeaters.
And that's exactly what the Beefeaters are looking to do. Establish the run. Move the ball down the field slowly, methodically. Tire out the defense here. They have the bigger offensive line. Something that they're going to be able to take advantage of against this smaller, more lankier defensive unit for Quinte. And it's interesting, you're going to high tackle LJ Dyer. You're going to get, a helmet or a shoulder pad to the chin.
Hand off to Dyer, straight up in the middle. Drops his shoulder, keeps it churning. LJ Dyer is starting to get warmed up a little bit. Takes his ball to about the 54-yard line of the last play of the first quarter. We got one left here. LJ Dyer with another gain of 15 yards. And the Beefeaters seem to have made a couple adjustments on the blocking schemes, maybe made an adjustment on the call or something.
Absolutely, and we see Luca Rosiello again coming through on that slice action coming from the slot back through across the formation, ending up making a block there.
Counter action to LJ Dyer off the left-hand side. LJ Dyer takes it beyond the 40-yard line. Takes it to the 40-yard line.
The other way.
First down for the Beefeaters. 3 consecutive carries by LJ Dyers. 3 first downs by the Beefeaters. It's going to be a first down and 10 at the 40-yard line to start the second quarter. Really evenly matched first quarter of football.
Absolutely, but Quinte going into the second quarter here, this is what you kind of started to fear when they started moving the ball for 10, 20, 15 yards a shot on the ground. Definitely very difficult to stop that momentum. So going to be interesting to see what defensive calls that they make, what assignments they give to those linebackers, especially when you're getting the H or the guard pulling through. Who's going to take that near gap? Who's going to take the outside gap? Who's going to end up making those calls and how they're going to identify that?
Don't forget to...
4 to the boundary. Motion over 3 to the boundary, 2 to the field. Slice action inside. Prosper takes it straight ahead for the Beefeaters. Got a gain of about 6.
Prosper.
Late flags on the play.
And again, Luca Rosiello coming in from that,
Straight ahead for
boundary
about
side
6
slot
yards.
back, coming in, adding into the
Late flags
formation,
after the play.
pulling through, leading the guard through, or pulling through after the guard to end up making a difference here and just adding in and creating another gap for Quinte to deal with.
So they got a unnecessary roughness on number 52, late tackle piling on. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. First down for the Beefeaters. This is going to be going way inside, so we're going to be at about the 12, 13-yard line.
Hit to the head.
And as you're looking at this from Quinte, right, you're a younger team. Let's not fall into the quicksand, right? You don't want to make mistake after mistake after mistake to a point where you're stuck and you can't do anything about it and you're down 20, 30 points now. Let's rally this young group together. Let's create some synergy and let's create a game plan where we can stop this running game.
Prosper in the backfield for the Beefeaters. Handoff over the right-hand side. Following those big blockers downfield. Prosper all the way down, and he's in. Touchdown, Beefeaters. Wow, did you see those pullers coming across there and absolutely opening that up for Prosper?
And again, Rosiello, right, in the half coming through from the formation, taking on the defensive end so that the guard can pull through to a smaller linebacker. That's just big on big, right? Gap scheme football, pound the rock, and that's what the Beefeaters love to do, especially in the playoffs.
I'm going to call out the offensive line after we see this extra point here. Snap is down. The kick is good. Penalty flags on it. Quinte was offside, so they're going to take that on the kickoff here. But Sam Nemeth at left tackle, Logan Hunt at left guard, Kevin Ricard at center, Jacob Deneau at right guard, Amen Fahadi at right tackle. Those guys absolutely lined up and took out the entire defensive line for the Beefeaters. And Quinte had no answer on that drive.
It is getting chilly.
And when you spot like the offensive line like that, I'm going to kind of go a little bit further, dig in a little bit deeper. The left guard, number 62, Logan Hunt, had the pleasure of coaching him a little over a season ago now. Was actually a defensive lineman when I coached him, so brings that athleticism, brings that understanding of how offenses want to work to the offensive line, somewhere where we believe he could have been an absolute success. Obviously being at, a Western commit and doing everything he's been doing there, bringing it over to the Beefs and creating an absolute sensational running game.
Rivard with the ball at the 50 is lining up to kick this away. The kick is away. Good long kick. He's got a chance to go over his head. It's caught inside the end zone. Brought out. Good job downfield. Good coverage downfield. Guess what? Another staple of the Beefeaters show up. Excellent special teams.
To the 17.
The Skyhawks are
great coverage by the Beefeaters after a good
got their
kick
backs against the wall here.
by
The ball at
Brady
about the 15, 17-yard line.
And you always got to mention some of the guys who do a lot more than just play special teams or a lot more than just play offense. If you look at number 84, Carson Douglas does a lot for this Beefeaters team, right? Plays a lot of the special teams, one of the team's leading receivers, someone who, a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, can do a little bit of everything. Block, catch, run the ball, play good special teams. You can't ask for more players, for players to do anything more than that.
No, exactly. And again, the Beefeaters, I was talking to the coaching staff beforehand, and, Quinte does a lot of that short, quick release, get the ball out of your hand, late meshers. They do a lot of really good concepts. They run a lot of smash concepts, a lot of mesh, a lot of cross action happening. If your front four for the Beefeaters, and I was talking to Coach Scarps beforehand, if the front four can affect the pressure and get to them, to get them off that second read, that's going to be a long, long afternoon for the Skyhawks.
Absolutely, and they definitely don't have great field position here, right? You're starting with, the end zone essentially scratching your back here.
Pass intended for number 3 for the Skyhawks. Just that H under route. Van Dyke was the intended receiver. Falls incomplete. Second down.
And we haven't said his name a whole lot today, even though he is one of their leading receivers, Eddie Van Dyke. I believe he leads them in receiving, actually, with 232 yards on the season so far. So, obviously, you got to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers just a little bit more. You can't fully rely on on the quarterback to run the ball and bail you out when you do have those seconds and longs with the QB runs. So it'll be interesting to see how they get their playmakers involved in this second quarter.
3-by-1 set. Little step off screen to number 1. Beefeaters do a good job of rallying to the football. He got a few yards on that. Not that many. But, yeah, just look at that right away. The Beefeaters are all around it. Nowhere really to go. Wraps him up. Third down. And we're going to call it about 8 for the Skyhawks. And a punt time for Quinte.
You might end up taking the field position here. If you're Quinte, obviously you can take the safety, kick it off, force the Beefs to drive further down the field. But when you're running a screen, right, you don't want to have the back stop and have to cut back in either way. You want to be able to catch the ball, turn around, see his lanes where he's got to go. If he turns and he sees an offensive lineman in his face, that's not going to do well for anybody. So he's got to end up making sure that, the offensive lineman has to get, number one, more depth down the field. And the running back, obviously, when he catches the ball, can't always come to a complete stop. You kind of just got to make something happen or make something out of nothing. So instead of 3rd and 8, you might be looking at 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, where it's a little bit more manageable.
Quinte elects to kick this ball. Bounces once. There's that 15 yards that we're talking about. Nick Seghetti with the return takes it beyond the 45-yard line to about the 43. First down for the Beef.
And number 37, Jacoby Dillion, an incredible tackle there. Very fierce. Brings a lot of oomph to the position there. And you like to see when your younger players have that grit, right? You want to be able to bring that through your program. Be strong, be stout. So, hopefully we can see a little bit better of an effort from this Quinte defense here instead of giving up, 15-20 on the ground. But we'll see what London comes out and does.
LJ Dyer in the backfield, one receiver to the field. And that time they got Quinte to jump.
I don't think he could stop himself there.
No, unfortunately, a little bit of momentum build up there. But you can kind of see they're kind of concentrating on crashing down. And if you crash down too hard, that's what's giving those cutback lanes. Mm-hmm. And that makes it for a long afternoon. 1st and 5 for the Beefeaters. 37-yard line. LJ Dyer in the backfield. 4 to the field, 1 to the boundary. Fakes it to LJ Dyer. Fairbairn keeps it himself. He is absolutely tripped up. That's a tripping.
Fairbairn with the carry.
Sticks his leg out. Number 11 sticks his leg out and trips him. It is enough for a first down. First down for the Beefeaters. Could have been a little bit more.
Kind of just unfortunate. Your receiver does an amazing block, gets the guy off of his feet where his feet are basically extended and he's not even touching the ground. But then unfortunately you block him right into your quarterback. So obviously great play for the Beefs. You want your receivers to block that well. And when you have receivers blocking that well, the running game is just that much easier.
3-by-2, step off screen, complete to number 84 here for the Beefeaters. Gain of about 6 before he's caught. Offensive linemen are down there pushing as well. Good job for the Beefeaters. Down to about the 25-yard line.
First down.
And that's Carson Douglas again. We mentioned his name a couple times already. Primarily more on special teams, but hey, get him involved in the offense. He does a little bit of everything.
I thought he got 7. He got 10 on that. They do move the sticks. First down for the Beefeaters. With 11:28 left to go in the half, Beefeaters are up 14-7 and driving. 4 to the field, 1 to the boundary. LJ Dyer in the backfield. Hand off to Dyer over the left-hand side. Cutback. That time Quinte does a good job of really collapsing that down. Nowhere really for LJ Dyer to go. Short gain of about 3 or 4 on that. Second down for the Beefs. 11 minutes exactly left to go in the half. Beefeaters second down and 6 here. Beefeaters in all white, silver helmets. Quinte in all black with that lime green trim.
And you're knocking on the door here looking to score for the Beefeaters to get yourself up 2 scores, get a little bit of pressure off in the game. Try to get some other folks the ball here.
Fairbairn pulls it, taking a shot downfield, complete to Seghetti inside the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Beefeaters. Look at that. Great job of settling down into the zone, presenting his numbers to the quarterback. delivers a strike, Fairbairn does, and the Beefeaters got a 1st and goal.
And that's a veteran maneuver by Seghetti there, right? You can continue, most receivers will continue running towards the sideline, hoping that the quarterback can hit them on the sideline there. He just settles down, presents his numbers, as you said, say, hey, all reliable, here to catch the ball. That's why he's one of the leading receivers for this Beefeaters team.
Handoff to LJ Dyer over the right-hand side. He's
Dyer
3
over
yards
the
in
right
the end zone
side.
before he's touched.
Touchdown,
Touchdown, Beefeaters.
And that's a staple of this London offense, right? You get LJ Dyer running the ball into the end zone, that power running game, that's the staple. That's what you got to stop if you're every other team in the conference, is that Beefeaters rushing attack. So to see them score again and put another touchdown on the board to give
But
them a
again, the
two-score
right
lead.
side of the offensive line are all Ontario players. They're Ontario OFC All-Stars. Snap is down. The kick is away. Rivard is 3 for 3 on extra
First
points.
kick is good.
9:55 left to go in the half. Beefeaters
21-17,
open up a
9:55
2-score
left in the half.
lead. 21-7 London. Coach, put your coaching cap on for the Skyhawks. You went out. You scored the first touchdown of the game. Since then, you've given up 21 straight. How do you stop the bleeding?
First off, you got to tell everyone that, hey, we still got a lot of football left in this game, right? You got 10 minutes left in the second quarter. You got an entire second half left. So it's going to be dependent on how we respond, right? We know what they're going to do. They're going to pound the rock. They're going to run power. They're going to run zone. They're going to run counter. That's what they're going to do. We need to get the personnel in place and the players in place and knowing, hey, when we see this, expect this, right? Better preparation would certainly help. And when you're looking at just the defensive structure that Quinte's come out in, they come out in this odd front, which definitely presents some problems when teams want to run a gap scheme. But in a zone scheme, it's actually really easy for the offensive line to determine who they got. There's only 3 people there. You block the 3 people, move up to the second level, and it's much easier.
Number 1 with the return. Good job of getting that to about the 25-yard line. Venditti with the return.
That was just a crowd. Ran into a crowd of Beefeaters there. It's gonna be
Like I
first
said,
down for
takes
the
it to about the
Skyhawks at
25, maybe the 27-yard line. This kid's got a real good motor on him. He's not the biggest. He's very shifty. He's great in space.
Right, at 5'6", 170, he's not going to be one of these big bruising backs, but as you said, Coach, very agile, very quick. You want to hit the ball in his hands in space. Obviously, that's why he's a returner, but you'd like to see Quinte do that on offense, right? Instead of just allowing, the quick screen game or, get him the ball in like a jet sweep, right? Let's see what he can do. Spread out the defensive line and get away from that big defensive line group.
Inside handoff to the by the Skyhawks, takes it over the right-hand side.
With the carry.
Gain of about 3 on that. Just a simple zone play.
2nd and 6 for the Skyhawks.
It was a darn near perfect defensive play call with Adam Victorine coming in as the linebacker there. Just need to come with a little bit more confidence, right? With a little bit more oomph in the game. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. You have that clear window. You just take it, right? If he doesn't hesitate there, that's honestly probably a loss. And then you're looking at 2nd down and 12, 2nd down and 13 for Quinte rather than 2nd and 6.
3-by-2 set, 3 to the field. Taking that shot. There's that long out. Great job completion to number 3. It's going to be really close to the first down. Van Dyke with the reception.
Pulled up by Hayden Scott.
That's right there, leading receiver Eddie Van Dyke. That's who we said we need to get the ball more, right? Really, really great ball, actually, from Camerota, right? Anticipating, he threw that ball before Van Dyke even got out of his route, right? He threw that ball before he even broke. So, great job. Looked like a routine play for them, something that they practiced for months now. So, a little bit more of that, right? Let's get some more movement. We got a 3rd down and 1 here. Big play for the Skyhawks coming.
3rd down and 1, big play of this ball game. 8 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the half. Try to sneak. I don't think he got there. They tried a trick play where Camerota started walking towards the sidelines. Somebody else came up under center. It was a quick snap. They do not get there. Quinte shoots a trick play bullet and misses, turns it over. Beefeaters with the ball at the 36-yard line. Oh, my.
And those are the plays that are going to really, hurt the ego and hurt the hurt the younger players that you got on your staff, right? You're trying everything. You try your trick play that you've been working on, and it doesn't work. Now you're giving the ball back in great position for the Beefeaters, looking to score again, right? You're already down 2 scores. Maybe something a little bit more conventional might have worked for Quinte, but again, we've talked about how big the defensive line is for the Beefeaters, and that's where you try to go. I don't really
4
like
by
the call.
1. Wheel route to complete to LJ Dyer over the left-hand side. Gets pushed out of bounds about the 2-yard line. First and goal, Beefeaters. Oh, my. What a call. Coach Steiner empties the backfield. Wheel route. There it is, LJ Dyer.
And he didn't just have LJ there. He had the other receiver running a post there, too, that would have also been wide open. So great play design where you have 2 players wide open. Quarterback can't make a bad decision there. Great ball, as always. Better catch by Dyer. Showing a little bit of his versatility in his game.
First and goal for the Beefeaters. 1 receiver outside wide. LJ Dyer with the handoff up the middle. LJ Dyer with the house call. Touchdown, Beefeaters. And the Beefeaters go up 3-score with 28 unanswered points in this game.
Yeah, 24 scores in a row, right? Definitely not fun when you're a visiting team coming all this way down to London. You got to get your guys up and going on the sideline. Don't lose. You lost the momentum you had early in the game, right? But you can't lose your spirit in a game like this. You got 7:30 left. The most important play that you got to run is the next one, right? You got to have a short-term memory, right? Come through. Hey, it's a 0-0 game now. We got to figure it out.
Right? Rivard 4 for 4 with extra points. And the Beefeaters, with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the half, go up 3 scores, 28-7. It's been the LJ Dyer show in the second quarter with both of the touchdowns.
And the long runs as well, right?
Yep.
He was running for 15, 20 yards a carry at one point during the second quarter. So, again, you got to go to the drawing board if you're Quinte here and say, look, we just got to get a drive going, right? We can't go 3 and out. We want to chain together a few first downs like they were doing on that last drive before, unfortunately, turning the ball over on downs. So, it'll be interesting to see what they come out here in. I thought they were moving the ball just fine, right? So
yeah, I like the decision to maybe go for it there. I don't necessarily like the call per se, but that's just I've run dumb plays like that too.
Yeah, I think we all have, Coach, right? We all have those plays that we wish we could have had back. So, I think that the decision was great. The play call, not so much. So I'd agree with you there.
Rivard drives his kick down. Van Dyke takes that at about the 4-yard line. Starts returning it over the left-hand side. Number 34, absolute with the hit stick on there.
Nick Fonte, the London Junior Mustangs product, first year as a Beefeater, making an impact on special teams.
Out of the 14-yard line.
I'm just going to take this down. Nick Fonte, huge hit stick on that. Great job by the young man, the graduate out of Laurier. His brother is here, DJ. I've got the initials all mixed up in my head. DJ, I saw him earlier today. Good to see him recovering. Mm-hmm. And again, one of the top quarterbacks in the province as well.
Absolutely led the Junior Mustangs to a championship here. Who knows? Could be a future Beefeater, right? Looking to potentially play at the OUA level. I think that's where he should be. If he's not there, that's a disservice to one of the better players in the province.
So Quinte down 28-7. Breaks the huddle. Referees are talking. Not sure what they were talking about there, but everyone seems to be in position.
Field, right? Third team on the field. They got to make sure they know what's going on and who's got the right decisions and everything like that. So,
single back into play, 2x2, with a fullback offset to the left. Step off screen. Read right away by the Beefeaters, falls incomplete. Number 51 in coverage for the Beefeaters. Second down.
Yeah, Adam Victorine in coverage there. Really quick ball, right? That's kind of the staple of their offense. Get the ball out quick. Trying to get the ball to Van Dyke. Again, I like the decision. Execution just not there. So it'll be... Ideally, you're going to try and spread the ball out, right? Get away from this big defensive line. Get the ball out quick. So maybe you try to make a shot to number 19 here on the field side, where you do have a bit of a size mismatch on the field, but we'll see what happens.
2x2 set. Beefeaters bring pressure. Scrambling around. He's got a man wide open. Caught by number 83. It's going to be short of the first down. Number 37 tackled him short, but there you see the big tight end wide open downfield. The Beefeaters brought pressure off the two.
Absolutely, that's the halfback there. That was blitzing. Great call. That's actually Semi-Finals, the DB coming off the edge there. And the catch with Josh Beal, one of their shorter receivers, ends up going up, making a great play on the ball. First and 10, or I believe it's third and short, third and a yard.
Yeah,
for
third and less than a yard for Quinte. Regular offense stays in, drives straight ahead, first down. Believe he got the first down there. Camerado, I'm pretty sure he got. Only needed like a half a yard. Pretty sure he got that.
Yeah, with forward progress, definitely getting it there. First down for Quinte. That's more the traditional what you'd want to see from a third down play. There is some tricky stuff you can do on third down, right? The good old Statue of Liberty, putting the ball back there for a receiver coming back. But with how big the Beefs' defensive line is, highly unlikely.
Yeah, for those of you who don't really know what the Statue of Liberty is, go watch Boise State, Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl a few years ago. There's the classic Statue of Liberty.
That's right. One of the all-time best college games ever played. A lot of future NFL players in that game.
CFL players as well.
Exactly. But, we're focused on the game here. Beefeaters looking to stop the Quinte Skyhawks, and they do a pretty good job of it on first down, getting a better position on the sticks. Looking like it's going to be about 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Noah Williams with the stop there, just absolutely swallowed up the ball carrier. Gain of maybe a half a yard. I don't think they're going to give him that. Get it back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 for the Skyhawks.
And Noah Williams, Clark Road product out of London here through the Junior Mustangs program. Honestly, a player that could be playing at the OUA level. Very fortunate that the Beefs have them in the system and playing. I believe it's his second year with the Beefeaters, and he's shown that he took everything that he learned from his first year and is absolutely dominant as an OFC All-Star.
Camarello throws that ball out there a little bit far. Pass intended for number 32, I believe it was. No, excuse me, number 12 falls incomplete. 3rd down and 10 for the Skyhawks.
And ideally, you would really, really like to see Camerota set his feet there and really get behind it, rather than just try to, chuck it out there with all of his might. So we do get a flag, holding penalty. Declined by the Beefeaters. So it's looking like it's going to be a punt for Quinte here.
Yeah, the Beefeaters declined the penalty, and it was going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. You kind of took a shot with a trick play earlier. You have a fake punt in there, and is it too early to go to that? Down 3 scores. Let's be realistic. It's not like you've been able to stop the Beefeaters' offense.
I wouldn't necessarily say a trick play. Maybe an onside receiver here, where you punt the ball, get someone going at full speed.
There is a man onside lined up.
Now the key will be to make sure that he leaves after the ball's kicked. So he is onside, and he is screaming down the field there.
Jagerhorst with the reception. Flags on the play. Coming from the far side.
Jagerhorst on the return.
We see a man.
Here's the flag down.
Okay, we're going to have a block in the back against the Beefeaters. And we have a man down at about the 35-yard line for the Beefeaters as well.
Obviously something you don't want to see any injuries whatsoever. So hopefully he's up and he's going to be okay. Block in the back, right? Again, a very avoidable penalty.
Well, it's one that he shouldn't have done it.
Exactly,
to
right?
be completely honest with you. There's no way in the world he should have done it, but he did, and it's unfortunate. So the Beefeaters are going to have this ball probably about midfield by the time this is all said and done.
And that's why you got to really pay attention to the small things, right? Playoff football, inches make all the difference here, right? We've seen it a few times already this game. Literally, it's come down to a yard for a bunch of these scenarios. So cleaning these things up, not assuming that any team has already won the game, but you got to clean these things up if you want to continue forward with your playoff push.
So the Beefeaters, with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, will have this ball, inside the 50 at about the 47-yard line.
Okay, I'll come back around.
Okay.
Ryan Howard banged up on the play for the Beefeaters.
So we're good to see the Beefeater player coming out under his own power.
First down at the 47-yard line.
Beefeaters, I would expect, they've had a lot of success running that ball with all 3 running backs. They've had Jesse King carry it, LJ Dyer carry it, Prosper carry it. They haven't run a lot of jet sweep yet, maybe something like that just to try to widen the defense out a little bit.
Yeah, and if you see even Quinte right now, the linebackers' heels are on 4.5. So definitely already really hard committing to the run, and it's not really doing them any good. Just because
Okay.
London's able to get 5+ yards a pop on the run, you
Well,
got to look for an adjustment here.
How about 8 yards on that first down carry over the right-hand side? LJ Dyer just straight ahead. And a good finish on that. Takes the ball to midfield. 2nd down and 2 for the Beefeaters.
And as you're able to take the wind out of the sails of a defense, right, this is where you put your foot on the gas. Continue to run the ball. Continue to pound the rock. Give it to your workhorse in LJ Dyer. And continue to take the momentum away, or any sort of semblance of momentum that Quinte had.
LJ Dyer over the right-hand side again.
Dyer
Works
over the right-hand side again.
works so well once. Let's run
Down
it
to the
twice.
46-yard line.
Same
First
play,
down,
same result.
Beefeaters.
Gain of 8 on the play. 1st down, Beefeaters. The ball at about the 46-yard line of Quinte.
And as an offensive lineman, this is your most favorite part of the game, right? You can feel the defensive lineman giving up as you're running them through, right? Russ Grimm, Hall of Fame offensive lineman for the football team in Washington down there, the Commanders, said in his Hall of Fame speech, the best part about playing offensive line was moving someone from point A to point B against their will, and that's what the Beefeaters are doing so far.
Jesse King with the carry that time. Short gain on the play. We're going to say 2nd down, and we're going to call it 2nd down and 9 here after a gain of about 1.
Last 3 minutes and a half.
3-minute warning here, 28-7. Beefeaters do lead. We are here at Citywide Park in London, Ontario, the Forest City. My name is the coach, Ron Ferwerda, joined by Dylan Sherville on London Beefeaters football action. OFC Semi-Finals. Fake the jet sweep. Fake the handoff. Complete out here. Good tackle downfield
Chris Douglas on the reception.
by number 28 for the Skyhawks. Does a good job catching that. Nice and low. Good tackle. Short gain of maybe 3. 3rd down and about 6 here for the Beefeaters.
And that's Evan Geen from the Skyhawks. They're coming up to make the play on Douglas, the receiver. And again, we've talked about him already on special teams. He's caught the ball once or twice already here. So good to see him getting involved, right? Get him the ball. He's one of those players that can energize an offense when he gets the ball.
So
Runs the ball hard.
Beefeaters leave the offense out there. A little bit of a Hank call. So they leave 4 receivers to the field. They're just trying to draw them offside. Time count violation. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, you take the time count violation there strictly to just burn more time off the clock, right? Take time off the clock. Maybe Coach Snyder got a timeout called before there, but 5 yards for Rivard there. It's not going to make a huge difference, especially with how strong his leg is.
It's actually better because I think where he would have lined up to pump that ball, it would have been he would have been close to getting the rouge there, and you'd rather pin them inside the 10 the way your defense is playing in the second quarter.
And correction, Coach, my apologies. It's a 10-yard penalty within the 3-minute warning. So, again, 10 yards does make a significant difference, as you mentioned, from getting, obviously, the single. But pinning them deep here, right, within the 10-yard line is the goal for Rivard. Try to push it to the near sideline here towards the fans. And hopefully, you're able to get another 2 points coming out of the half.
Quinte showing a lot of pressure up front. They're bringing it. Rivard gets a kick away. Great kick by Rivard. Fielded out about the 10-yard line. Takes it straight up the middle. That's Van Dyke. Returns it to about the 27-yard line, I would say.
Over the 26-yard line.
And that was a pretty punt, right? It almost looked like it came out of a quarterback's arm the way that spun in the air and did a little end-over-end action, spinning like a spiral. Great kick, also great return, right? Could have easily pinned themselves in the 10-yard line with where he caught the ball. Returns it, gets to past the 20. You got 2:14 left on the clock. You got 2 timeouts. Ideally, you end the half with a score here.
Well, you're going to have to do something because the Beefeaters are going to get the ball to start the second half as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And in the last game that the Beefeaters played, I believe they exploded for 21 points in 6 minutes after the first half. So you know that the Beefeaters are a second-half team. They do come out a lot stronger after the halftime, after they made their adjustments. So you got to score here.
Inside handoff. Clotheslined by number 51. I don't think it was the actual clothesline, but I just saw the arm go out, and the running back just went right down.
Minimal gain.
Number 51 with a big hit in the backfield for the Beefeaters.
Yeah, he got swallowed up by Adam Victorine here. We've said his name quite a few times, making plays in coverage. Now making plays in the running game, right? Found a little bit more of that confidence playing in the running game, and now it's starting to show.
Quinte breaks the huddle. 3 to the field, 1 to the boundary. Fullback offset to the boundary as well. 1 running back in. Camarillo back to pass. Pass was almost picked off by the Beefeaters. Jumping the route was number 21 for the Beefeaters. Pass falls incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And Robbie Brown, you mentioned him pre-game, right? One of the best defenders on this Beefs defense, making another play to bring up, again, 3rd down. 1:51 left on the clock. If you're the Beefs, you can probably tack on another one here.
If you're the Beefeaters, you definitely want to get within at least field goal range and try to get that double dip as you're getting close to the end of the half here. But the Beefeaters are going to have decent field position. Quinte's done a really great job of covering these kicks. I will say that.
Absolutely. And their punter here, Tegan Good, has been sensational punting the ball, right? And when you punt the ball from a left-handed or left-footed punter, the ball actually spins the opposite way. So as a returner, when you're trying to catch that ball, it can actually be a little bit different and a little bit weird feeling in trying to track the ball as well as catch it.
Saghetti with the return, picked it up at the 48-yard line, takes it beyond the 50, running the 200, gets a cutback lane, gets it beyond center field. Saghetti's off to the races on the right hash line. Saghetti is down inside the 5. I think he's going to get down on the 2-yard line. Nick Saghetti with a huge return. 1st and goal, Beefeaters. That might have been a dagger.
Yes, that is something that obviously you don't want to happen, right? We had a ankle attempt tackle by Colby Dowdle, the linebacker for Quinte. Unfortunately, didn't make it happen. And as you mentioned, Coach, every game, right? You catch the ball, it's at least a 15-yard difference. This one almost went house.
Yeah. So Miller in at quarterback for the Beefeaters. 1st and goal at the 1. I thought Saghetti had a real shot at taking it all the way there. I really liked what he did. He stuck his foot in the ground, and then he got north-south in a hurry. There was a great block on the outside. I didn't see who the number was. Miller handoff to L.J. Dyer straight ahead. Touchdown, Beefeaters. Beefeaters open up a 4-score lead. 35-7. 1:31 left to go in the half. Wow, what an second quarter explosion here for your London Beefeaters.
Absolutely, because I believe it was 7-7 ending the first.
Well, it was 7-0 for Quinte at one point. Mm-hmm. Then the Beefeaters, both teams went 3 and out on their first drives. Quinte put together that great drive to get their first score. They were up on the board early. Since then, it has been all Beefeaters with 5 straight drives for touchdowns.
And obviously not good when you're looking from the Quinte perspective, right? You do have a younger group, something that you can build around. This is where, you got to make some adjustments at half. You can't just go in with the same game plan you've already had. Got to play better against the run, maybe change the alignment of the defensive lineman a little bit, confuse the offensive line maybe in some of those zone looks, maybe in the gap looks as well. You got to do something. You can't come out doing what you did because what you've done hasn't accomplished a whole lot.
Well, and again, they've got away. They were doing that. They were really playing tight, almost that mugger look with when I pointed out to you at that one point. It was like they got 10 guys within 5 yards, And boy, oh boy, if you break that all of a sudden, there's nobody home. And my apologies, it's 5 of the last 6 drives the Beefeaters have got the majors on. Mm-hmm. Rivard's snap is down, the kick is away, and it is good. 35-7.
0 for 2, dude.
Beefeaters with the extra point.
You've only got one job. That's not true.
And when you're looking at to respond from Quinte, right, you got 128. At least start to put something of a drive together, right? I wouldn't try to say obviously establish a run because there's 128 left, but get the ball in the hands of the playmakers like Van Dyke, like Lockwood and Venditti, right? Like they have playmakers. They're just not getting them the ball in places where they can succeed. Mostly because the Beefeaters defense has just been that good, but you can't just stop, right? You got to continue to try.
Is this a question of a young team coming off of a long travel day? They were supposed to play last week against GTA. GTA forfeited the game. So they had the bye week, came out with like a house of fire, and then since then, kind of been punched in the mouth a little bit, and it's been all Beefeaters.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Obviously, travel does play a part in the OFC, especially with how long the distance some teams need to go, right? Like Ottawa coming all the way down to London, like we saw last game, did play a factor in the second half.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of this is, sometimes Jocks and Joes beat X's and O's, right? You have the older, more established team and the more established group in the Beefeaters, right? Players that have been a part of this playoff environment before. And it's something where, when you have that younger group, you got to keep them high and excited. You can't let them get their chins down. You can't have them walking off the field. You got to do what got you here, right? Continue to play excited. Continue to try and get your playmakers the ball. Don't let your guys give up.
Quinte breaks the huddle. 3 receivers to the field. 1 to the boundary. Fullback offset as well. Inside handoff to number 1. Met by the entire defensive line. And number 51 again for the Beefeaters. Gain of about 4 or 5 on that. It's going to be a second down.
And that's Venditti carrying the ball again, right? Trying to get those playmakers the ball in space. He does, get 4 there, right? Which is the goal and something that you want to do. Just unfortunately not the right game scenario to do that in, right? You have the 1:16 left on the clock here. You want to establish a run earlier in the half, right? Right now, you got to push the ball downfield. Try to end up doing something here.
Gets me a toot from the merch booth, but
1:16 left. The Beefeaters did call their timeout. That was their first timeout of the half. And excuse me, I said it was a gain of 4. It was a gain of about 1, actually. So short gain on the play. Looked like more again. We are field level here at basically center field. So we're trying to, do our best through a crowd to determine, how much did we get and how much did they not get. So great job by cameraman Lawson up top, providing some great shots for us. Quinte breaks the huddle. Looks like 3-by-2 this time, 3 to the field. Just a quick shot. There's that mesh concept that they like to run. A lot of pass complete to number 19 for the Skyhawks. Lockwood with the reception. That's going to be enough to move the sticks for a Skyhawk first down.
And that's one of those bigger bodies that they have at receiver, right? Lockwood, big 6'4", 6'5" receiver, able to shield himself from the defender, turn his back towards the defender. So the defender doesn't even know where the ball is, right? You're looking around someone who's 6'5", that's going to be pretty difficult. I would expect Quinte to try and go back to him more than they have already, just to continue to push the ball down the field and try to get some points before halftime.
Yeah, really the classic wide receiver in the CFL or the Canadian game. That tall, big, tight end almost, but spread out wider.
Adam Victorine.
So good to see the Beefeater player coming off under his own power there. He's had himself a whale of a game.
Yeah, he's played great, right? Adam Victorine, one of the starting linebackers for the Beefeaters defense here, had himself a great game, right? He's done really well in the passing game. Really, really established himself as a great run defender in the second quarter so far. Right now, if you're the Beefs, play 2 deep, play quarters, right? No harm, no foul. Don't let anything get past you.
Back to pass. Pass is complete to number 12, I believe it is this time. Gain of about 7 or 8.
And that's Rhett Melanchuk right there with the reception. Great catch, great adjustment to the ball, turning, twisting in the air, going to grab the ball at its highest point. This is what they should have been doing for the majority of the time, right? Getting the ball quick, outside. Camerota can feed the receivers, allow them to go make a play, and you don't have to deal with the Beefs' defensive line as much.
Quinte in a hurry-up formation here. Back to pass. And this time it's picked off for the Beefeaters. This could be the last straw. Breaks the tackle, keeps on going. Beefeaters with a house call. Howard, pick 6. And the Beefeaters go up 42-7.
And as much as we say we want them to play that quick passing game, right? You got to throw it to your own team, right? So you got to make sure that you're getting the ball into your receivers, not the defensive backs. So really unfortunate. Kind of might put the nail in the coffin here for Quinte.
Kind of talking to Coach Scarps before the game. He talked about that quick passing game and how the Beefeaters really had, they worked on it, keep everything in front of them, jump the route when you know you can, make tackles, do everything else. Other than that first drive, this defense has pitched a shutout.
Yeah, they've done incredibly great as a defensive unit, right? Coach Scarp's
Come on,
one of
Caleb,
these
dude.
coaches that have coached at all
Hi.
levels of London football, right? So he's seen kids that have, been
got
knee-high to a
harness?
grasshopper all the way to going to the next level. Truly one of the better coaches in the city of London. Obviously, you'd love to have him at the high school level. I believe he teaches at Oak Ridge, right? But committing to the Beefeaters here allows him to help a lot more than just the high school kids that are already there.
So Rivard 6 for 6 on extra points today, 42-7, 29 seconds left to go in the half. Dominated by the Beefeaters.
Absolutely, right? The first quarter, really tight, right? Quinte came out and played a really, really great game.
Well, yeah, it was 14-7 at the end of the first quarter, and since then, the Beefeaters have gone on. Well, what else do you do? 4 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Yeah, you gotta not just the drawing board, right? You gotta go back to the drawing room, right? You gotta find something. And when you're down this much in the game at this point, right, you're gonna just try and get guys some experience, get some guys that can be competitive, right? See what you got kind of going into next year. For the Beasts, right, a team with championship aspirations, you gotta appreciate that next man up mentality. Again, get some players some experience, get some guys on the field that you might have to rely on in a potential championship matchup.
Big tackle by number
Then
37 for the
Brought
Beefeaters.
down by Keenan MacArthur.
MacArthur with the tackle. Great open field, clean
Gets it out to
hit,
the-
and
that's
just
the 26
swallowed
yard
them
line.
up.
First down Skyhawks from there.
First down for the Skyhawks at about the 25-yard line.
And I think we'll see from the Beefeaters coming out here, they'll take a lineman off the field, right? You got 23 seconds left here. Go into a 30 front, which means 3 defensive linemen on the line of scrimmage. Have an extra defensive back in there. Play quarters. Don't let anything get past you, right? 4 deep. And for those who don't know what quarters coverage is, you have 4 deep defenders, whether it's the corners or the defensive half.
Pretty much across
and
the
then
board.
the safeties are going to be back taking the middle quarters of the field. Probably what you're going to end up seeing, as we see right now, they have that defensive shell, and I believe they do only have 3 defensive linemen on the field here.
Yeah, and I think Quinte's actually lining up in a victory formation. Also, they're going to knee out the half, which is exactly what they did. Quinte kneels out the half. It was 7-0 for the Quinte Skyhawks after the first 2 drives of the game. Quinte went on that third drive, did a great job marching the field. A little bit of run, a little bit of pass, and a touchdown to go up 7-0. Since then, 42 unanswered points by the Beefeaters, and they've done it on the ground, and they've done it consistently, and they've done it on special teams, and they've done it on defense. A great overall performance by your London Beefeaters.
Absolutely. You can't ask for anything better, right? Obviously, everyone would love to pitch a shutout, but it is what it is, right?
There we go.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Quinte responds.
We are going to be playing
Keep their heads up, right?
This beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. So at the half, the Beefeaters are up 42-7 over the Quinte Skyhawks. We'll be back shortly with second half action.
If you want to play.
And welcome back to Citywide Field here in London, Ontario. I am the coach, Ron Ferwerda, joined by Coach Dylan Sherville. Coach Dylan, 42-7, Beefeaters lead. Dominant second quarter, 28 unanswered points, 42 unanswered points for the Beefeaters.
Yeah, unfortunately, just Quinte not able to keep up the momentum that they had in that first quarter. But a lot of enthusiasm coming from their sideline, which is very promising, right? You have a younger group, you're down in a game, have that enthusiasm, still come out ready to go. Obviously, anything can happen, right? When we look back at even the Houston Oilers, right? Having that comeback at halftime. So, going deep into the vault there, anything can happen, but at the same time, you gotta be ready to play and you gotta be enthusiastic, ready to go. And Quinte is certainly ready to do that.
So Quinte to kick off the second half action here. Ball's at the 45-yard line. A little bit of a low kick. Bounces over the head. Picked up by number 84, I believe it is, for the Beefeaters. Straight up the field. Ball is fumbled. Don't know if he was trying to pitch it back. This is Seghetti coming out of the shot on the left-hand side. Seghetti with a man to miss. Spinning around. Great downfield blocking. Nick Seghetti over midfield. Tackled at the 47-yard line. What a great return. I don't know if that was supposed to be a lateral or it was a fumble, but Seghetti with the heads-up play. First down, Beefeaters at the 51-yard line. Wow.
We'll call that a creative pitch. Well, let's call it that. And Nick Seghetti able to, use his athleticism to gain a heck of a lot more yards than what London could have ended up with. Obviously not a great start for Quinte on the second half, but
well, they had him. They had him dead to rights.
Yeah.
And then again, it's kind of been the story of that game. You thought you had him, and then all of a sudden, a little bit of explosion by London. Fairbairn in at the quarterback position. Two running backs in there. Handoff to Prosper over the right-hand side. Prosper still going to the 40-yard line. Gain of 11 on the play. First down for the Beefeaters.
Yeah, and they're just going to continue to run the ball. Surprising to see that there isn't a little bit more substitutions made on the offensive side for the Beefs. They still have Fairbairn in there.
No, number 8's in there for the Beefeaters.
No, my apologies. That's Ethan Balthazar in at quarterback. So good to see that they're, emptying the bench and getting some guys some opportunities, because you never know who's going to be the next man up in the championship.
2x2 with a fullback in there as well. Prosper with the carry over the left-hand side. Gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play.
Down to the 34.
Good gain on the play. Second down for the Beefeaters after the gain of about 5.
And the star, one of the stars on the offensive line there, Sam Nemeth, ended up running into the back of, having the running back running into his back. You got to keep your feet moving.
Sammy, you came up to me 2 weeks ago and said, Coach, you got to say my name. I said, I say your name when you do something in the game. Sam, keep your feet moving. You said your name.
Yeah, can't always all be good, right? You got to end up, you got to always have effort regardless of the state of the game.
Jesse King, the ball carrier for the Beefeaters over the right-hand side, following the blocking of Sam Nemeth. Good job that time by the Beefeaters offensive line. Nemeth actually does a really good job of turning his guy inside there and really presenting a good wall. Gain of 7 on the play. First down for the Beefeaters.
Logan Hunt also getting to that second level as well, right? His first start of the year, I believe, for Logan Hunt, which is awesome. Good for him. He's one of the younger players on this Beefeaters team. It'll be interesting to see how they do juggle the offensive line play going further into the playoffs. As we do see number 95 come in. That's Ashton Weber, the fullback, coming into play for the offense. For the
Jesse King over the left-hand side with a head of steam. Big gashing runs again by the Beefeaters. They kind of said, we're going to run this ball. If they can't match our physicality, Coach Snyder said, we're just going to keep doing it all day. They haven't been able to match the physicality. Gain of 12 on the play. And the Beefeaters go hurry up again. Same play, Jesse King over the right-hand side. Jesse King over to the next level. First and goal for the Beefeaters at about the 5-yard line. Wow. Big run by Jesse King.
Jesse King looking more like an Energizer Bunny there, always going, always pounding, right? Like those Energizer Bunny commercials, ready to go. It's great when you get the opportunity, right? You got to make the most of the opportunities that you're given, regardless of the state of the game, right? So show why you deserve to be on the field more.
Beefeaters break the huddle. Tight end over on the right-hand side, motioning over late. 2-by-2 set, one running back and a fullback in. Handoff straight ahead, Jesse King. Touchdown, Beefeaters! Flags on the play. Multiple flags on the play. Everywhere.
Some extra
And another one
going on here, unfortunately. And when the score does end up getting this, when the score ends up getting this big, right, and having that big of a difference, you got guys that may not have scored a whole lot doing these, extra big celebrations. Unfortunately, cause for a penalty, right? So.
Well, I think every referee except for one threw a flag on that play. So there's going to be a real meeting of the minds as to this. I know it looks like one of the Beefeaters said something as they were leaving the field, which was the third penalty, I believe it was. But Jesse King got in for the touchdown. It's going to be 48, barring the extra point, 49 here for the Beefeaters.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here and how everything's applied to the kickoff and all that good stuff. So
the Beefeaters could potentially be kicking the ball from the 20-yard line here.
Could be, right?
Rivard for the extra point. Objectionable conduct against the Beefeaters.
Unnecessary roughness against Quinte and objectionable
Coach Snyder
conduct
looking for a meeting with the third team on the field here. Not going to get it right now. They're just going to finish off this extra point. Rivard looking to go 7 for 7, I believe, on the day. And we'll see if he's able to do that.
Just waiting for the white hat to drop the whistle. Snap is down. The kick is away. Rivard's
kick is up and good.
And
the crossbar and over the fence.
Over the fence. So 49 for the Beefeaters, 7 for Quinte. 11:29 left to go in the third quarter. Beefeaters just run.
And you have to give some credit to Tegan from the Quinte Skyhawks here. Tegan good. He's their kicker. He's their punter. He's also selling out, looking to block these extra points, right? Like, that kind of effort is what coaches notice, right? And it's something where, if you're a player at this stage in the game, regardless of where you're at or where you're being put, effort is what's going to get you more opportunities moving forward.
So we talked about it. Quinte was really a team of first and second year players. How we really thought next year was really going to be the year where they take leaps forward. But they do have 3 all-Ontario players on this team for Quinte. And they really, from what we've seen in years past to this year, it really has been a day and night difference. Quinte's really announced themselves this year as they want to be a real player in the OFC moving forward. And they have a great area. They have a great relationship with the college up there. And it's just fantastic to see another team being energized and
Just a pretty face.
and really making an announcement to the league that we're going to be here and we're going to be here for a long time.
And ultimately, if I'm able to share my thoughts, Coach, I think that's kind of more where the CGFL should be going, right?
Yeah.
Replicating that JUCO-like environment that they have down in the States where, you get these schools that have the 2-year programs like the Fanshaws, like the St. Clairs, things like that, where they're able to have football and really connect with their community. As we see the returner here for Quinte swallowed up in very minimal gain. But again, you're catching the ball in the air, trying to get a return. I think that's where things should be going, right? Leverage the support of existing alumni or existing schools and connect with the community in a way that you haven't before, right? So
back around the 24-yard line, there is a flag.
So Quinte's going to have the ball approximately the 25-yard line by the looks of it.
I would assume some sort of penalty on the Skyhawks here. Probably going to move the ball back just because of the, obviously the kick and the way that things are going. Meeting of the third team out there, the Zebras, the referees, the officials, whatever you want to call them. I always just call them the third team. They're the ones who keep us all in line and make sure that we get to play this great game. So shout out to our officiating staff and how great of a job that they're doing.
So unnecessary roughness called against Quinte.
Skyhawks take it back 15.
So it's a 15-yard penalty. Quinte's going to be having the ball approximately the 10-yard line now.
Inside their 10-yard line.
And when you have a younger team, right, like Quinte, you have to avoid the easy
Batter about to
mistakes, right? These penalties, the unnecessary roughness, the high tackles, those are easy things to fix, right? And that's the difference between, a contending program like the Beefs or even St. Clair down the road there and a team like Quinte who wants to become a contender, right? You got to limit the nonsense penalties. You got to limit the extracurriculars. Just go out there and play ball.
Quinte, inside handoff. Short gain on the play, maybe about 5 after the inside handoff.
By the Skyhawks.
Second down and about 5. We're going to call it 4
Picks up
for
couple.
Quinte.
Maybe almost 3.
Oh, gain of 3.
Second
I
down.
thought it was more than that.
Yeah, it looked like it, but, just unfortunately not able to press on and get a few more yards there. But again, establish the run, right? Like, that's something that every team wants to be able to do in the playoffs. Just because you're down by a whole lot doesn't mean you can't start to try and do it now. You're going to try and develop the better habits for, seasons to come.
Camarillo back to pass. Taking a shot downfield, intended to number 19, falls incomplete, and that's going to be third down. I imagine Quinte's going to give up the deuce here and switch the field position.
I would assume so as well. And again, when you're looking at Isaiah Lockwood, right, 6'4", about 200, 210 pounds, those are the receivers that you want to try and get the ball. Unfortunately, ball was just a little bit off where he had to dive for it. But now we're going to see Tegan Good come out and maybe take a safety, but he does have a very strong leg, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do try to punt it here.
Similar position to the first half. The Quinte Skyhawks elected to kick the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Game
see
situation obviously being a little bit different than it is now, but I would not be surprised to see him kick it here.
So the busiest man for the Skyhawks is back to punt yet again. And he's just going to take the safety this time as he runs through the back of the end zone.
Electrified.
9 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Beefeaters add 2 more, 51-7.
Yeah, and when you're in a game like this, right, you just got to keep playing hard. You can't give up. You can't, you can't start to do all the extracurriculars that get people in trouble. You just got to go out there and you got to play ball, as I mentioned before. And get some players into some different spots. See what you got, right? Like, you know your starters. You know what you got already on the field. Let's see some guys that, have had some moments in practice or have had some flashes in practice where you haven't had necessarily an opportunity to get them on the field, but now you want to see what you got moving forward, especially for a younger team like Quinte.
And not only that, but, for the Beefeaters, you're going to give some other players a chance to get some reps in there that, maybe you weren't thinking we're going to get as much playing time as they're going to end up getting then.
That's right, a whole second half, right? That means a whole lot for a lot of guys, right? A second half is better than just 2 to 3 plays in garbage time, right? So
fourth ball carrier of the day for the Beefeaters, Nick Fonte, with the carry over the left-hand side. Gain of a couple on the play, second down. And Nick Fonte made that big play on special teams earlier. Nick Fonte, undersized player, not the fastest kid. But I'll tell you something, the kind of guy that you want on your team, this kid's a dog.
Absolutely. Last year for the London Junior Mustangs, actually a part of our championship group this past summer, was a long snapper as well. So not only contributing as a receiver, getting, long passes down the field, but also contributing on special teams. Different to see him as a running back here. Not something he's traditionally done, but is going to be successful at whatever he does just simply because of his work ethic.
Nick Fonte straight up the middle. Takes the ball to midfield. Gain of about 20 on the play. First down, Beefeaters.
It doesn't even matter what back is getting the ball now for the Beefs. They're all getting fed. They're all getting carries. And Nick Fonte, again, traditionally a receiver. Interesting to see him run the ball between the tackles, but he's doing one heck of a job.
Like to see a good player getting some action, get some playing time in here. This is a guy that I know came late to the Beefeaters and just keeps continue to work hard and grind. Handoff to Fonte, takes it over the left-hand side. I like the slow play and the explosion on there. He's going to gain of about 3 or maybe 4 yards. We're going to say 3 yards on that. Second down and 7 for the Beefeaters.
He gets about 3 there, right? Made something out of nothing, which is great to see a young running back do, right? It's not like he doesn't have a ton of football experience. He has a plethora of that. Part of that OFC championship winning Laurier
Yeah.
Rams team as well, right? So he has the experience in playoffs, colder type environments, ready to go. So it's awesome to see him be able to bring that to the next level.
Well, Nick Fonte's like an 18-year-old kid. This guy's been playing football since he's been 7. So it's not like he doesn't have lots of playing experience. Jesse King in the backfield right now. Pass complete over the right-hand side. Balthazar
Jagger Horst.
Horst with the
First down,
reception.
Beefeaters
First
at
down for the
43.
Beefeaters at the 43-yard line is where they're going to spot it. Just overall good job. Fake it to Jesse King. Give your quarterback an easy completion. I like what the Beefeaters are doing.
Absolutely, right? Get some Balthazar some experience, right? Get him rolling out of the pocket. Get him something he's comfortable doing, right? And having them extend some plays.
Beefeaters with that heavy set again. Fullback and tight end in there. Jesse King over the left-hand side. Explodes. High hurdles the ball. I don't like it when players
King
leave their feet like
Running
that.
the steeplechase.
Sure makes it look like
Down
a
inside the
highlight
30,
film.
first down Beefeaters
But
at the
man,
28-yard line.
I'd rather you drop your shoulder and lower it rather than doing that jumping in the air stuff.
Well, yeah, especially because that's what the kids are all seeing at the next level, right? Is the guys trying to go up and over. Traditionally, that's what works for guys who when someone's really low. When you're already kind of in that diminutive stature, like Jesse King, right? He's trying to get up that high is going to be difficult. Plus, you're not in control of your body. As soon as your feet leave the ground, you're at the mercy of whatever hits you.
Fonte over the left-hand side makes the first man miss. Keeps driving his legs. Look at the leg drive by the
Fonte,
Beefeaters and Nick
breaking
Fonte.
tackles.
Great job of
Driving
that.
upfield,
Gain of about
first
8 on
down,
that.
Beefeaters
Late
inside the
flag
20.
again. Coming late in the backfield
Skyhawk
for
down.
Quinte. So I don't know if it's going to be against Beefeaters or the Skyhawks. Thought there was a late push there.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a late push potentially on the Beefeaters there. I think that's the
flag.
call that we're going to end up getting.
Hard to spot
But
at night.
awesome to see Nick Fonte make something out of nothing there again, right? He gets tackled either at the line, or he gets
Yeah,
contacted
without
at the
Hamilton.
line of scrimmage, or just short of the line of scrimmage,
anyone
able to
paying attention
continue to
if
move
you
his
turn
feet
the
for an
lights off instead of
8-yard
third
gain
quarter?
there.
Or turn the lights on.
You know, it was one of those things with
That was
Fonte.
crazy.
You're right. Contact was made at the line of scrimmage, and he just kept his legs driving and everything else. He's got really great balance, and he does a good job of keeping his balance underneath, his feet underneath him, his shoulders. He runs nice and low with the ball and does a good job of that. This is an objectionable conduct call against Quinte, unnecessary roughness. Objectionable conduct against Quinte. So
Unnecessary roughness is a call against the Beefeaters.
5 yards
Objectionable
back
conduct against the
after the first
Skyhawks.
down for
All
London.
after the play. So back it up 5. Still first down. Beefeaters.
So the Beefeaters with the ball at about the 32-yard
Better with
line.
this refereeing.
6 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Beefeaters up big, 51-7 over Quinte. Again, Quinte jumped out to a 7-0 lead at about 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Since that point, it's been all Beefeaters.
Yeah, definitely not surprised to see this kind of be the result so far with what the Beefeaters have been able to accomplish so far this year. Obviously, you'd like to see the game be a little bit more competitive, but with how good the Beefeaters
Fonte
are,
the ball carrier takes it over the
Fonte.
right-hand side. Down to the 10.
Inside
Inside
the
the 5.
5.
Nick Fonte. First and goal
First
for the
and goal,
Beefeaters.
Beefeaters.
and that's the story of Nick Fonte, right? Always super, super close, but never quite getting to the end zone. Even with the Junior Mustangs this past summer, right? Was always the guy that got the big gain, 30, 40 yards through the air, but unfortunately tackled within the 5-yard line. So hopefully they're going to be able to let him finish it off here.
Number 37 for the Skyhawks. Who do you got there?
I have
the
number
safety.
37 is Jacoby Dillon.
All Ontario. He's one of the Ontario All-Stars on this Quinte team. Kid's a great athlete. That's Fonte could have walked in. There's the effort that you want to see in the young team. Fonte the inside handoff over the left-hand side. Fonte scampers
Fonte
in.
to the left.
Touchdown,
Touchdown,
Beefeaters!
Beefeaters.
And now the Beefeaters go up 57, barring the extra point, 58-7, with 5:02 left to go in the third quarter.
Glad to let them see Fonte, finish off the drive, get into the end zone there, especially for the first year back. So as you do get some more guys that are getting into the game, getting a little bit more experience, right? Fontaine has kind of been at that level already for quite some time. So interesting to see him get an opportunity and make the most of it.
34.
So Braden Rivard in for his 8th extra point of the day. Snap is down, the kick is away. It is good. 58-7, Beefeaters. 5:02 left to go in the third quarter. Coach,
Just putting it out there. If any of
I don't have many plays to make up like a 50-point difference. And you got to do it play by play, but if you're Quinte, who've really come down here and had the lights beaten off of them, so to speak, what do you do?
Well, it starts with the next play, right? That's got to be the attitude, is just have a short, really, really, really bad short-term memory. Just, hey, we're done. Let's move forward. Continue to rock, right? Continue to move forward. Continue to play ball. You can't end up having these silly penalties that end up pushing drives back. Continue to have a really strong effort and make sure that you're getting an opportunity to play. It starts off with a good drive here, right? That's all you got to think about is the next drive and the next play and how you're going to chain things together.
Rivard lining up for this kick. Foot to ball, and away we go. Ball is picked up at about the 25-yard line. Had him downfield. Reverses, that's number 1 on the return.
Venditti, we've called his name out quite a bit so far this game. Obviously, as a returner, as one of the backs or slot backs for the Quinte offense. Obviously doing as much as he can, right? Very shifty running back, very, electric with the ball in his hands. Just, unfortunate that there's a lot of rubber on the Beef side there.
Yeah, and again, just a one-handed tackle there. Venditti does a good job of breaking it, keeps going. So, again, substitutions going across the board for the Beefeaters on defense now. So we see a number of new players in there.
Absolutely. We see 97 Carrick Brown lining up at defensive end there. We see Liam Harrison lining up on the defensive line as well. Pretty strong players there. Carrick Brown, again, from the London Junior Mustangs, a London product. Played at St. Andre Bessette, who's been having a really strong year this year so far.
Really coming on in the last 3 weeks.
Absolutely. They've been, making that playoff push. They do have a great quarterback in Sweeney as well.
Yep.
Could be a potential future London Beefeater. Who knows? London is very, very great when it comes to the quarterback talent. So I'm sure there won't be too few options for the Beefeaters to kind of who takes over the quarterback spot.
Quinte breaks the huddle. 2nd down and 5. 4 minutes left to go, third quarter. Quarterback draw, and he's met in the backfield and sacked by number 53 for the Beefeaters. Camerota, nowhere to go that time.
And that's Nabil Awak, the CCH product out of the London Junior Mustangs as well. Traditionally an offensive lineman. I've coached him as a defensive lineman with the Junior Mustangs as well. Great to see him get an opportunity. We always called him the water bug. He was always very nimble, very quick. That spin move of his hits so fast that if you're not prepared for it, it'll beat you clean, just as we saw there.
So 3rd down and 5 for Quinte. Clock is moving here. 58-7. Yeah, my name is Ron Fuerta, joined by the coach Dylan Sherville. Live from Citywide Field, OFC Semi-Final action here on this Saturday night. Beautiful fall evening. Beefeaters in all white, Quinte in black with their lime green covers. Onside man.
With the punt here. We have the onside player coming. I believe that is Jacoby Dillon there.
Doesn't matter. Seghetti's got the ball, takes it over the right-hand side, right towards us, explodes, gets out of bounds about the 45-yard line.
Forced out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
One of those diminutive returners, the OFC All-Star returner for Ontario this year as well. Just a really good job. Just watch the explosion right here, the decision to go. And then he's just really, really quick, really good.
As well as, Seghetti, one of the leading receiver, I believe, for the Beefeaters as well. So can't only just return, also does a lot of the receiving work as well. Again, the best ability on the game in the game of football is your availability.
Never mind. Married Mackenzie Gall, Tavis Gall's sister.
So Beefeaters break the huddle.
The best in their marriage together.
1 on the boundary, 2 to the field, tie down on the boundary, hand off to Fonte. This time he's met
Monty on the carry.
for a short gain of maybe 1, call it
Right down by
2
number
on
9.
that.
Dowdle.
You see Fonte a little bit
Short gain,
frustrated with that,
second
right?
and
Especially with the
long.
success that he had last
Yeah,
drive.
always
But
great
again,
to see
continuing to move his
good
feet,
people
he was
doing it, having good
contacted
things
about the line
happening
of scrimmage.
in
So
the
for him to
Beefeater
still get
family.
2
So
yards out of that is
congratulations
pretty
to you.
great.
Looked like a great day.
The Beefeaters break the huddle.
Yeah, Vander something rather. I don't know.
Tight end over on the field side. 1 receiver to the field, 2 to the boundary. Fullback offset as well. Fonte's met in the backfield this time by number 56. Coming off the
Last hit
edge.
by the big man.
Nowhere to go. Thrown down for a loss of a couple.
Cam.
That's going to force the Beefeaters to punt. This is something that I haven't
Bring
done a
up
whole
third
lot
down.
today.
Yeah, exactly. I think they've actually only
I used to
punted.
go
This will
that
be
way
their
up
third
to
time
second
punting this
pretty
game.
good. I
So,
don't know what's wrong with
get Rivard a little bit of practice, swinging the leg here.
It's not like Rivard hasn't been busy today. 8 extra points, and this will be his 3rd punt.
Absolutely. And, obviously, Quinte, great job on getting a stop, right?
Yeah.
They've scored on 7 of their last 8 drives. Make it 7 of the last 9, right? It's the little things that counts for Quinte moving forward now.
So Rivard is standing at the 50-yard line of the Beefeaters. Quinte showing pressure. Snap is away. Good kick. Bounces about the 10. And rolling around. Jumps on it. This is going to be a no yards call against the Beefeaters. 5-yard variety. Called against Jesse King, who's
Flag
trying to get
down.
in there. But Quinte
After
does
the
get
ball
the
went
ball
through his
back.
wickets.
So it's going to the ball is going to be about, I can say about the 15, 20-yard
Don't know if
line
they touched
here.
Something in there or not.
But the 15-yard line, by the time you get the 5 yards, no yards call.
Absolutely, and you're starting to see a little bit more substitutions
There's no
roll
flag
in
for
here.
no yards.
You're going to see Matthew
First down,
Henches
Skyhawks
come in
inside
at
the 10-yard
linebacker
line.
here. We've already mentioned Carrick Brown, Nabil Awok. We're also going to see Ryan Howard come in as a defensive lineman here as well.
So they're saying no to the onside, to the no yards of that. The ball was actually touched.
Yeah, exactly. It was already touched. They can go get the ball. It really shouldn't be a penalty there.
So Quinte breaks the huddle, 3 to the field, 1 to the boundary, 1 running back and a fullback in there. Back to pass, taking a shot. There's that tight end, that wide receiver, big number 19 for the
Lockwood on the
Skyhawks.
carry, or
Yeah,
on the
Isaiah
reception
Lockwood on the
part
catch
game.
there again. That big kind of wide receiver
Yeah.
that we had talked about
Out to about
already.
the 16
Shields,
yard line.
shields himself in the
Second
ball,
down.
gets in between the defender and the ball. Great opportunity to continue to get him the ball and get him some touches in this game. I feel like they should have gone to him a little bit
Yeah.
more when the game was, still within reach for them.
2nd down and 7, barring a penalty. This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Quinte breaks the huddle.
We're going to get one more play here before the 4th quarter.
2 to the field, 2 to the boundary. There's that late,
Fastball's incomplete.
and
There's
look,
a late
there's a penalty flag.
Again, more extracurriculars, right? Like if you're a young
Yeah.
team or if you're a lot of the subs here on the Beefs, like you can't have these avoidable mistakes, right? You just can't. You're a backup. You're playing in because the game's out of reach. This is when coaches start to notice, hey, if I'm going to put this guy in, when I have a opportunity for a substitution, if I know you can't keep your cool, or if I know that you can't, keep yourself out of penalty trouble, then I'm not going to put you on the field, right?
Yeah, so that's, the Beefeaters are walking down like it's going to be there. It should be an untimed down here after it was illegal contact, a blow to the head. So you are going to have one untimed down because the half cannot end on a penalty, of course. So
can't end on a penalty, folks.
So Quinte with the ball, I'm going to say about the 37-yard line
So
here.
first down at the 37.
This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter, again, barring a penalty.
I think you take a shot here. It's 1st and 10, right? Like what? Like really, what do you got to lose, right?
No, exactly. You're newsflash. You're not coming back from this game. There's not enough possessions in this game left to come back from it. Camarillo rolling out to the right, throwing it late across the middle. Pass broken up by number 26 for the Beefeaters.
And a great pass breakup
that
by
one
TJ
down.
Murray there. As the receiver, you don't want to go away from the ball, right? You got to attack the ball. As we saw from the receiver, he kind of faded away, allowed for Murray to come in, swat the ball over top. Definitely, some teachable
down,
moments
coming
here.
up.
Okay, but if I'm going to be quarterback coach for a second, you cannot roll to your right and throw back against the grain late into the middle. Has a recipe for disaster written all over it. Coaching moment, don't do that.
That's right, absolutely. There's been more than the fair share of teachable moments here for Quinte, but obviously they're trying to move the ball. They're doing the right things, right? Whether it be by penalty or other ways, right? Obviously you don't want to throw across your body as the, Brett Favre interception comes to mind against the Saints there.
Yeah.
Had, 20, 25 yards of running room and decides to throw it across his body. Not that he was, ever known to be a scrambler, but a gunslinger. So you live and you die by it.
Great shots of the crowd there by cameraman Adam there, doing a great job on the mobile camera. And again, 2nd down and 10 here. Taking a shot downfield. Just outside the
Just out of
fingertips.
arms of Lockwood.
Pass falls incomplete.
bring
Intended
up
for number
3rd
19,
down.
Locklin. I imagine
folks, you
Quinte's
guys
going to
just
go
waved
for
at
it here
him
at
and jumped up
the
and
3rd
got a
down
big
here.
noise for
You
it.
might as well. I
That's
mean,
Adam
they're probably going
Melvin.
to send out the punting unit just because you want to get into the
Okay,
rhythm
yeah.
of the game script. But
Ultimately,
ultimately, what do you have to lose, right? Like, what's another, few touchdowns that you give up? At least you get more possessions to your offense. Let's see some other things, right? At this point, points and against really doesn't matter, right? It might be just for a point of pride for not
Yeah.
putting up a ton of points, but at this point, it really doesn't matter, right? You just want to get some guys some opportunities to play.
Laptop of steel.
So again,
So-
the Quinte Skyhawks are
He's dipping
their
his
season's going to
fingers
come
in
to an
many
end
pies.
after
Let's say
tonight.
that.
London's going to be playing next week. It's
We
just
also
whether
did
it's
the
going to be
Hamilton,
in
Hurricanes
St.
games
Clair
this year for them.
or if it's going to
Because they
be
couldn't find a
here
broadcaster in
if
Hamilton to
Ottawa
visit.
can pull off the upset in St. Clair tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'd be a monumental upset
Media
for the
empire
Sooners
to
going
beat.
into St. Clair.
That
there.
Ottawa team, I've said it kind of all along. I said, that team scares me, and at some point they're going to get somebody.
Absolutely, and obviously they have an impact running back there as well as a returner. He is incredibly phenomenal, right? So he's a game breaker. If you can't account for him, then he could pose the Saints some real problems. As we see the punt here by Tegan Good.
Saghetti with the return, takes it over the wide side of the field, crosses the 50, crosses midfield, beyond the 45, beyond the 40. Saghetti all the way down to
Saghetti
about the 30-yard line.
Inside the 25
First
yard
down
line.
for the Beefeaters. Great return. Nick
Another
Saghetti,
big
we see
return
why
for the
he's the
OFC's
OFC outstanding punt returner
this
for
season,
the
Nick
for the
Saghetti.
Ontario Conference.
We
Absolutely,
have
obviously
last
shows
call
his
for
ability here
50-50
for
tickets.
the
Sam's making her last
for being
call.
able to be a very strong returner here. Kind of shocking that he's on the field though at this point in the game, right? You have some younger kids that can go and return that ball, right? Just give them a shot.
Balthasar back in at quarterback for the Beefeaters. Tight end H-back to the field. Jesse King in at running back takes it over the right-hand side. Flags fly everywhere. I think this is a holding call.
Well,
Jesse
I
King
get
gets into the
excited.
end zone, but this is coming back.
Oh, 100%. A clear holding call
The
by the right side of the
flags in the
offensive line here.
backfield
Pick one,
with a
there's your
hold
penalty, right? So,
against the Beefeaters.
not just one, definitely more than one culprit.
It's funny because I
You
thought it was
wonder
on the
if they
wide
called that one
receiver on the outside there.
Oh, the offensive lineman had him locked up.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
think there's a number of holding
Oh,
calls.
yeah.
They
First
say
down,
you can
Beefeaters
call
at the
holding on
35
any
yard line.
play that you want, and there's an example of we have your option of which one you're actually going to call for the hold because there's 2 or 3 of them.
Absolutely, right? Yeah, you can, old adage, as you said, Coach, you can call holding on any play. Just so happens that, it was pretty obvious on that one.
Laptop of steel.
13 minutes, 51 seconds left. I know you can't really see it, but just beyond the field, there's an orangey glow happening in the sky. You can see that hunter moon coming up over the sidelines there. Pulls it this time. Balthasar pass is complete over the right-hand side.
Balthazar.
Missed the research. Missed
Ethan
the
Grant, I believe, on the
Ethan
on the
Grant,
catch.
number 20, with the
Good
reception.
game for the Beefeaters.
So Ethan Grant's the fullback. There's that H slice. Yep. And just that H under
Got a
takes
man
the ball
down.
all the way down to about the 23-yard line. Gain the penalty yards back plus a couple. We're going to have a
Second
second
12
down
there
and
for
8
Grant.
here. So, Coach, start talking about next week, assuming it's going to be St.
It'd
Clair.
be a cool picture when
You
the
know,
moon gets above the trees. Just saying.
Not to beat a dead horse, but
Sorry, I'm a little taller.
London
than
got
you
the
guys
brakes
right now,
beat
but
off of them in St.
it's
Clair a
kinda
couple
cool
of
from
weeks
up here.
back. What do they got to
I'll sell
do
tickets, $5
to
off the ladder and
to come back
we'll-
and to have a much more
sell
presentable?
tickets.
Because every time these teams play in the playoffs, it's a one-score game.
Well, you got to make sure that you control the line of scrimmage
I
and
am not
control the
gonna get
clock,
along
right?
with you, man. This
St.
could
Clair's
take me
offense
and
so
another.
dynamic
Trust me.
and can
Not even
score at
this
any
little one
time,
here.
right? So when you're up against an offense that's like that, the key is you got to take the ball out of their hands. Got to keep the ball out of their possession.
Second and
Take
8,
as
please.
long of a drive as you can, obviously, without giving up too much field position, and just try to put some drives together that chew a lot of time off the clock.
Balthasar calls his own number straight ahead. Breaks it beyond the
Balthazar does it
20-yard
himself.
line. Gets
Little
it
quarterback draw action there.
Gets it to, I'm going to say, about the 15-yard line.
Down to the 12-yard line. First
Well, down to the 12. First down for the Beefeaters as the Beefeaters continue to run the ball with success. Multiple players.
Yeah, and there was obviously a really strong pass rush from Quinte there, something we haven't seen a lot of throughout the course of this game. So obviously, Balthazar, easy decision. Call your own number. Get yourself, that first down, and hopefully put another touchdown on the board.
2-by-2 set for the Beefeaters, one running back in. Handoff to Jesse King, cuts it back over the middle. Jesse King takes it to about the 5-yard line.
Down by Dowdle.
Gain of about 8.
Down to the
Second
6.
down.
Yeah, and
Second
again,
down.
The same adage that we're going to say, playoff football is determined and won by the line of scrimmage here, whether it's the offensive line playing well or the defensive line playing well. Both have shown up for the Beefs today, and that's why they have the lead that they have.
So 11 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the ball game. Beefeaters up big, 58-7, and knocking on the door again. Balthasar in the pistol formation, motion around, a little jet sweep action. Number 85 takes over the right-hand side. Big hit inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line.
85, Gary Hahn.
Gary Hahn absolutely lit up on the goal line by
Took a
Quinte.
big one there.
Number 11, I believe, got the tackle.
And again, Tegan Good. We've said his name a lot today, and obviously with a
Jackson
big hit like
Clancy.
that, you might get the wind knocked out of you. Hopefully, Hahn is okay. And again, that counts as a passing attempt, right? As he flicked the ball forward.
Yeah,
if it's dropped,
not.
right? If it's dropped, that's
I
an
know.
incomplete
I
pass.
hate. I've been running jet sweep for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I hate that people are counting it as a pass now.
Well,
It's a handoff.
Yeah, right. But so it creates a lot less room for error, right? Toss the ball forward, right? Allow this athlete to go grab
Yeah.
the ball. Don't have to worry about a mesh going wrong, right? And creating a fumble. Get the same action. Flip it out to a guy who's already basically at full speed, and off they go.
Hahn banged up on play.
So good to see the Beefeater coming up under his own power
160 pound
here.
difference will do that to a fella.
It's first and goal. I'm going to say about the 1-yard line for the
First
Beefeaters.
and goal Beefs at the 1.
And we do see Brady Miller in a quarterback. So I would imagine QB sneak here.
Yeah, QB sneak or maybe even handoff, to number 24.
Jesse King.
Yeah, you'd be looking at Jesse King to finish off the drive here, but
Quarterback sneaks straight ahead. Touchdown
Brady
Beefeaters.
Miller.
So
Don't think he can push the
65
stick. Touchdown Beefeaters.
7 for the Beefeaters. Wow.
yeah, you kind of see more of these scores in London minor games rather than CJFL games, but
Producer Stephanie, even though it's an extra point, I'm going to cue something up here because I want to talk about this in a minute here. Braden Rivard, possibly 9 for 9 on extra points. Even though they are extra points, 9 for 9. Braden Rivard. Kickers are people too. Absolutely. 9 for 9 on extra points. That is unheard of.
yeah, definitely not easy to do, right? Especially when everything becomes routine, but you still got to focus, you still got to keep your head in the game. 9 for 9, that add up to a lot of fantasy points in any league, no matter what one you're in.
Well, it'd be 9.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Beefeater fans, I got a quick
So,
thing of trivia.
9 for 9 on extra
Courtesy of
points.
Hall of Famer Jim
And he's
Lake.
had great day punting the ball.
All right, first
Even though I
person
don't consider punters
can
kickers,
Come up here
there's a difference.
and let
As
me
a
know
kicker who couldn't punt, most
who
punters
started at
can't
quarterback for
kick.
the Beefeaters
So
tonight.
it's I
You
say
have
it
a
with
fabulous
pride, but
prize
Braden
tomorrow
Rivard,
afternoon.
great job today. Just really double duty
Yeah,
with
third
punting
Cameron,
and,
just one,
field goal
two
kicking
tickets
today.
to the next
Absolutely,
game.
and it's
Come on,
definitely
Ferguson.
unique when you can get a kicker who
Jim
can
White.
do both, right? Traditionally for the Beefeaters, you know, they've had someone like Zach Medeiros, CFL Grey Cup
Yeah.
champion, who is an unbelievable kicker and an unbelievable punter, obviously why he ended up in the league and winning a championship. You know, when you look at traditional kickers from London or from Western, you know, Liram Haralahu playing in
Yeah.
the CFL, right?
Gets
Great
it
kicker,
outside
great
the
punter.
30-yard line.
Daryl Wheeler,
Yeah.
kind of the first of that long line of sensational kickers.
Well,
for the Mustangs
there's
there.
a kicker just to our left here who's announcing the Beefeaters, Dave Woody, who at one point
Now you can get
had
idea what I was
the
talking about
East
with the
had
mover.
the OUA record on the East Coast for most
The
points in the
preview.
career. So, you know, kickers all the way back to the 80s, back in the day when I used to play, if you had one, you had lots. If you had none, you're in trouble.
If you look at some of the kickers even around the city here for London High School ball, Julian Garces, again from St.
Yeah.
Andre Basset.
Yeah, that kid's a
Unbelievable
great
kicker.
leg.
And even if you look at like CCH, right, Oscar Chmielewski,
Obviously, your screen,
I was talking with their
Lockwood
head coach, Alex
calls it
Karowski,
complete.
this week, you know,
Take this
when you
time to
can walk
thank our
across the
sponsors.
halfway point and know you're at
Rosie
least going to
Streetery.
get 3,
Yeah.
it creates a
You're
lot
fantastic.
less
You can bring on
pressure
here.
for your offense
Now
to be
there's
able to
the
have
right
to move
floor.
the ball because then you know you're at
Two-time
least
Hall
going to
of
get some
Famer
points.
Doug Galworth at Blue Forest Realty. Source for
So
sports.
pass incomplete there on the little
Versus
step off
Country
screen.
Cup.
That's another thing I
Wade,
thought we'd
Nordic
see a little
Spa.
bit more of
Brigade
is
Promotional.
that step off
Railway City
screen, that
Brewing.
type of action,
Talk about
as
that
we
later.
do see the clock
Housing
running
Chrysler.
now
Subaru
in this
London.
fourth quarter
Star London East and
on
West.
the incomplete
London Police
pass.
Association.
And we're getting some
London Performing Arts Academy,
changes in the
Black
defensive
Fly,
backfield here
Echo
for
Valley
the
Golf
Beefs.
Course, and
You got
Pro
number
Sports
31,
at
Davion
1
Wilson
o'clock.
here coming in. Very, very tall corner. Definitely does not look like he measures up to the 5'10 that they got him listed at. I would at least say you're looking at someone who's 6'2", 6'3 there.
Cambronneau scrambling around, takes it forward.
Camerota.
Gain of
outside
about
the
8,
35
I'm
to
going
the
to
36.
say.
It's going to bring up third and about 3.
Third and about 2 here for the Skyhawks. I would imagine they're starting to go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Great
right?
sideline shot there by Adam, cameraman Adam on the mobile camera. If we can get his attention, just to, like that great orange hunter's moon coming up over the side there. Sorry, that's had my attention for the last 10 minutes of this game.
Well, it is pretty to look at, right? You know, there's obviously some pretty play going on the football field here, but you know that moon's definitely getting some of our attention. You might even be able to sneak a peek of it in the background on the camera work here. I think that Quinte just ends up going for it here. You know,
Well, it looks
but
like they brought the
do have
punt
the
unit
punt
out.
formation out here, so. You know, you want to see something positive come out of here for Quinte in the second half. Try to put up some form of score in the second half so it just doesn't leave you with a lone touchdown.
Well, like I said, you know, since that one score, at with basically 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter, after both teams had went 2 and out on their opening possessions, Quinte put together a nice 7-play drive, and cashed in for the touchdown. Since then, the Beefeaters have put on 65 straight. Quinte's back to punt. This time they fake the punt, and the pass falls incomplete. Turn it over on downs,
Pass falls incomplete.
and Beefeaters will take over the ball.
First down, Beefeaters at
They
the
tried to get the ball to
35-yard line.
Venditti there, just right off the fingertips. Honestly, loved the play call, loved the play design. Right, that's one of those fake punts that you can kind of put your stamp on and be like, all right, I think it's going to work. Especially when you have an athlete like Jacoby Dillon here running down the sidelines here. I'm not sure if it was him or number 32. So with him streaking down the sideline, taking the defender all the way there, he probably would have been still running right now.
Yeah, there's a little bit of room there for the had it. Balthasar back in at quarterback again. Tight end over on the right-hand side. Fullback on there as well. 2x1 set, excuse me. Fonte, the ball carrier over the left-hand side. Exploding over the left-hand side. Penalty flag.
Fonte gets to the corner.
It's a holding call against the Beefeaters, unfortunately.
Brought down
Fonte,
by
again,
Jacoby
there's
Dillon.
Nick Fonte with
Flag on
showing
play.
that speed that really just to look at him, you didn't think he'd have that. He does a good job of turning the corner and accelerating through that.
Well, when you looked at him as a receiver prospect, right, unbelievable route runner, might not have the top end speed and the top end giddy up that you'd expect from some of the other receivers, but when you transition to a running back, one of the faster backs, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, as you'd expect, right? So, and as an offensive lineman, right, when you get that holding penalty and it's a back who
Holding
might
the
not
ball.
touch the ball a whole lot,
There's the head
you know,
contact
it's
foul.
tough, right? You feel bad. right? We had a rule back when I played, not eons ago, but definitely not yesterday, where, if you had a penalty on someone's pick six, you owed them a keg steakhouse dinner. So that was something where, you definitely don't want to have that type of a punishment, and it definitely wasn't fun. I may have, had to buy a keg steak dinner or two in my time.
And for the record, I was eons ago. For the record, I would have been eons ago. 6 minutes left to go in the ball game. 65-7, Beefeaters lead. Holding call called against the Beefeaters, and it's come back first down and 20. Offset fakes the handoff. Balthasar completes it out over to the right-hand side. A little step off screen. Complete for the Beefeaters.
And again, completed to Nick Fonte, right? Showing his skills as a receiver out of the backfield, something that he's definitely more comfortable doing, which is catching the ball and getting some yards there. Make up most of the penalty yardage, actually, where it's 2nd and 12.
So 2nd down and 12 after the gain of 8 for the Beefeaters. 5:20 left to go in the ball game. The Beefeaters will be on the road most likely in St. Clair next week. I would imagine that's going to be a Sunday night game.
And they've got a phenomenal situation down there in St. Clair, right? Their field and their facilities are top-notch, especially for the CGFL level. As we see Balthazar roll out here.
Balthazar's intercepted. Penalty flag as well. It's picked off. I'm trying to get the number 9, it looks like, for the Skyhawks.
I believe that's Colby Dowdle, who's actually made some plays on special teams already this game as well. So good to see him get the interception. Obviously something that they haven't done a lot of today is stop the Beefeaters on offense. But good, to see that Quinte can get a stop and get an interception.
So Balthasar should have handed that ball off. Okay?
Yeah.
There was 2 guys in the backfield, and they slow played it. He pulled it, and then all of a sudden there was nowhere to go. He delivered the ball that really shouldn't have delivered. And again, young quarterback making a rookie error, but it is what it is. When it's 65-7, you kind of live with that a little bit.
That's right. Teachable moments, right? Like we talked about for Quinte, just the same as well for London, right? I believe it's a face mask that was called against the Beefeaters here.
15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty. Give the Quinte Skyhawks a little bit better field position.
50-50 ticket number.
So Quinte has the ball. 4 minutes and 52 seconds left to go in the ball game. Skyhawks take over at about the 43-yard line.
Coming up.
And at least, hopefully, you can get a score here, right? At least 3. Obviously, you would love to score a touchdown here, but, you got to put together a drive.
3 to the field, 1 to the boundary, 1 running back. Calls his own number, takes it over the left-hand side. Scrambles beyond the 50-yard line to about the 49-yard line. First down, Skyhawks.
And that's Camarota, right? Starting quarterback, still in the game, right? If he's a younger quarterback, you got to get those guys the extra reps, right?
Well, this is a younger team. Okay, this is a lot of these players on this team came from the OFC or from the OPFL Quinte team straight into Skyhawks of the OFC. So it's a very heavy team with 1st and 2nd year players.
And that's where you're going to get the experience, right? The more that you see something, the more better competition that you go against, the better you'll become as a player, right? That's why it was always a challenge, especially for a lot of younger guys who want to succeed and play at the next level. You can look at a team where you might play right away but might not have a ton of success, or you go to an established program where you get to learn from people who have already done what you're looking to do, kind of cut that learning curve in half, and end up developing for a few years before getting an opportunity to play. Both options are great depending on which kind of player you are. Having experienced both, it's having those veterans there always helps. So not surprised to see the Beefeaters where they are as a program right now.
But again, I'm gonna give some roses here to the Skyhawks. I remember when they first came in here about 3-4 years ago for the first time. They're building a program and stuff, and I remember thinking it's like, they got some athletic-looking kids out there. I said, but I think they're a couple years away. The pass falls incomplete. Quinte has really made leaps and bounds. Their coaching staff, I think, is excellent. I know Ryan Mason is one of the coaches there, a former London Beefeater, a guy that I coached and coached with a little bit. Back in the day, so they're doing things the right way. They're They're developing their players. They've got some great athletes on this team, and there's a really, really bright future for the black and teal in Quinte. Camarillo back to pass, pressure coming, kind of throws off his back foot. Pass falls incomplete. Turn it over on downs. It'll be first down London.
TJ Murray.
Yeah, and when you do have a younger team, right, it's all about building the habits, right? You might not have the results right away, but it's about building the habits, showing up to practice 30 minutes to an hour early just to make sure that you got everything that you need. You're dressed, you're ready to go 15 minutes before practice, because if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late, right? Getting, the captains in place, getting the leadership group in place, developing those traditions where, established teams might already have that, but if you don't, you kind of don't know what you're missing, right? You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. But again, having punched your ticket, and this is the first time that the Skyhawks have made an OFC semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that, they're in this position and they're playing this game speaks to how well that the organization is doing and how far they've come. Unfortunately, the result on the scoreboard in the field are going to tell you how much more work they actually have left to do.
That's right, because when you look at the conference overall, right, it's St. Clair, then a gap, and then the Beefeaters, and then a large gap to the Sooners and Quinte and those type of teams. So they're going to have to make up a significant gap, and that's what we saw today. However, that first quarter, right?
Yeah.
Very well played. You hang your hat on that, and that's what you want to look to build off of.
Balthasar keeps the ball, takes it over the right-hand side, and is met in the backfield.
Balthasar
Tackled at about the
brought
51-yard line,
Glasbergen.
So throwing down for a loss of 3 on the play, third down and about 6, maybe 7.
7.
I can understand the read, right, with the defensive end crashing down like that, but at the same time, you can't just read the defensive end there. You got to see who's behind them too. Have your under read where you're seeing the half come down as well, right? So it's going to be a little bit difficult when you're looking to hand the ball off if you don't see that second defender coming, and especially being in black and I believe is that lime green.
Yeah.
You might end up missing them with how dark it is outside here.
So the Beefeaters bring the punt unit in. Rivard back to kick, showing a man on side. Now they're bringing them back up to bring the press to alleviate some of the pressure.
I believe that's number 84. We've called his name a few times
Low
now.
snap picked up by Rivard. He still gets the kickoff. Booming punt. Picked up about the 25-yard line. And tackled right away.
Lost the handle
Actually,
on
just
it.
lost the handle on it. Kind of
good
goes
punt
down
by
about the 25-yard
Rivard.
line. 34 seconds left to
4
go.
seconds left in the fourth.
Time for maybe 2, maybe 3 more plays. That'll be the ball game.
Yeah, try to push the ball downfield here, right? Try to get a score, right? You scored in the first half. Hopefully you can get a score in the second half. Obviously, games been out of reach for quite some time now just because, you can't make up a almost 60-point difference in, one drive. So, obviously, you just want to have something that you can build on for the future.
So 65-7, the Beefeaters are going to win this game. It's been a great season bringing you Beefeater action here on the CJFL app and on Rogers TV rebroadcast as well. We thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a national championship game to call, possibly here or up at Western, not really sure. Camarillo back to pass, taking a shot downfield. Pass falls incomplete. Second down.
Again, great play call, right? Trying to get Eddie Van Dyke the ball down the sideline. Again, something they could have probably went to a little bit earlier in the game. But haven't yet, so it'll be interesting to see what they try to do to end up the game here. I think they might just, still try to pass the ball, still see what they can do in terms of moving the ball. But again, no slouch. As much as we say, the score didn't indicate the game, Quinte hasn't given up the entire game.
No, absolutely not. They've battled hard. And you hear that buzzer in the backfield. This will be, barring a penalty, this will be the last play of the ball game. Quinte back to pass, scrambling out to his left here, taking a shot downfield. Pass is knocked down, falls incomplete.
The last play is batted down by Hayden Scott.
Hayden Scott drops it. And
There's your final
that
score, ladies
is
and
the
gentlemen.
ball
65-7
game.
for your London Beefeaters.
65
How
to
about a hand
7,
for both
a
teams,
much
especially
larger
Quinte,
score
working
than I
hard
think we both
all the way
anticipated
through that,
coming into it.
driving
But
down
really,
today to
a
play
dominating
this game.
victory by the Beefeaters.
Absolutely, and when you are trying to get momentum to
Fantastic
go
effort.
into a championship game, this would be the way to do it, right? You get up early, you
On
push the
behalf
tempo,
of the
you
London
get some players
Beefeaters,
some experience,
players,
and you
staff,
end up winning
the
by a
board,
pretty large
I'd
margin.
like to thank you for your attendance.
So
Steve
again,
James,
the greatest
keep your eyes
handshake
on the
line in
socials.
sports is
Let's
happening.
get out and
You
support
battled
us
each other
wherever
for
we're
60
playing,
minutes of playing
next
time,
week, whether
and
it's
now you have the
here
respect
or
to shake each other's
the
hands.
dreaded
You
St.
know,
Clair.
great job by both these teams.
But hey, you
Congratulations to
could go over for
Quinte,
chili dogs
who's
beforehand
really,
in
I
Detroit.
said, I really respect
like a
where this
pony.
program was a couple years
But
ago
we'd love to see
and
as many of
how
these as
far
we
it's
can
come.
next week.
And congratulations to, again,
Thank you so
Coach
much.
Snyder
Have a great evening.
and the London
You know
Beefeaters
what's coming in a
punch
couple
their
minutes.
ticket to the OFC Championship game next weekend, possibly in St. Clair, possibly in London. Find that out tomorrow. But for Dylan Sherville, cameraman Adam Melrose, producer Stephanie, the Cantors, cameraman Liam, just everybody. My name is Ron Forward. I'm the coach. Thank you for joining us again for another year of Beefeaters TV.